Hello, everybody, and welcome back to
the McDonCast,
the funnest podcast in town, the only podcast around. Tucker, what is happening today?
Oh, Sam, I'm tired.
Why is that?
I slept for like 3.5 hours.
Well, why did you go to bed at
I was
3?
watching The First Omen.
Why?
It's shockingly good.
Bad. No one will ever be able to share that sentiment.
No, people should check it out.
Yeah, but no one's going to though.
The best horror movie I've seen this year. I've only seen
You've seen
3?
2 horror movies this year.
I've seen 3. This was the only good one, so. But the only one that was. I saw Abigail. That was fine.
Everyone was raving about Abigail. Everyone said
I
Abigail
thought
was really
I
good.
saw it. I mean, I thought it was okay.
Isn't Maxine coming out later?
Maxine
also?
is coming out. I don't know when. I think.
Have you seen the
after
TikTok ads for that movie?
I saw at the premiere they hired fake religious protesters.
Oh yeah, I did see that also. But
And
no one even knows this movie's coming out.
None of them would care.
That and also the TikTok ads I've seen are people going like, so I've heard that this movie is gonna be like that, and if it is, it's gonna be really cool. It's like, dude, they hired you. You know what kind of movie it is. Why are we doing this? This is really dumb.
I saw they hosted I think it was in Los Angeles. They hosted a special screening where it was billed as a double feature of the first 2 of Pearl and X.
So is this is in the Pearl?
This is the third one, but it was billed.
Didn't Pearl and X both come out last year?
About 2 years ago.
I feel like I just started hearing about this character, and then now she's in 3 movies, and I didn't know.
Well, they made them real fast. They're not super complicated, or at least X is really simple. Pearl's a little weirder, but they
doesn't she push her dad into a lake or something?
Yeah, but they hosted a special screening for the first, or they billed a special screening of the first 2 with Eli Roth or whoever the guys does this is, Ty West. But he was there and doing a Q&A, and then the surprise was that it was a screening of Maxine.
Of the new one?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But there were people there who hadn't seen Pearl or X and were like, I was going to watch
that
the first
ruins
2.
it a little bit. I
thought I was seeing the first one.
Yeah, maybe that's a cool idea conceptually, but maybe not the best idea logistically.
No, I just thought that was kind of funny. I guess I don't care.
All right, well, let me give you guys a brief rundown of what we've got going on this week now that we've got our cold open out of the way. We got trailers. We got set photos from Superman, Man of Tomorrow of Steel. We got
Legacy of
Hope for Peace or something.
Hope for Peace Tomorrow Punching Time.
We got
I hope the sequel is called Superman Punching Time.
Didn't we talk about the Blade stuff last week?
But yeah,
is there more?
Kind of.
Okay, there's
more details.
More Blade stuff, apparently. HBO Max is reworking Max's HBO's, and
there's a Green Lantern show.
Lanterns are involved. And then we got one of the best Nintendo Directs in years.
I guess.
Because that's the state of the Switch. Anyways, we'll get into... Oh, we also got Acolyte episodes 4 and 5, House of the Dragon episode 1 and 2.
Didn't watch that one.
And then Inside Out 2 as well. All for you guys this week.
Acolyte.
What?
Watch the Acolyte.
Yeah, you did. You watched it last night.
The 5th one was fun.
Yeah, you tweeted about it last night.
I was like, that was kind of interesting, Star Wars. You're not supposed to do that.
The thing is, there's a lot of really cool stuff happening in the show, but I think that the dialogue is just a little, off a lot of the times.
I think...
Also...
You know what? Let's just talk about it now. Who cares?
Yeah, let's just get into it. May's character doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think I've identified my problem with the Star Wars shows on Disney Plus,
mm-hmm.
and that is they're paced and edited as if there's no breaks, between the episodes. Every episode is just structured as if it was just a cut from the last one, and then there's just a cut after 30 minutes.
I agree 100%.
Nothing. The episodes never feel like they start or end. They just feel like I watched It feels like I'm watching a movie in TikTok clips. You know what I'm saying? Where
Yeah,
I'm just
where it
watching
just kinda
20 minutes
stops.
of it, and then it just stops, and then I just wait for the rest of it to pull up.
Yeah, that is something that has kind of bugged me about the show, and I talked about this a little bit with Brendan when we watched it yesterday. Like when I'm watching the show, I'm having a good time. There's some corny moments, but it's Star Wars. There's always corny moments in Star Wars. That's part of Star Wars. Um, but my biggest problem with the show is the endings. Every episode's ending, just it feels like they just were like, all right, and cut, and then
it never
it
feels like there's a beginning either. Like it never.
Yeah,
feels,
it just starts up again.
It never feels like we've gotten to like a stopping point.
Yeah,
like
with the first episode, they had that kind of it was a little bit rushed with the introduction of the masked now Sith. We know he's a Sith Lord now. There was the second episode, which I don't remember how that one ended. Or the third one was just a completely separate thing. So that one I think had the best ending of the three, just because it was kind of its own little self-contained.
Felt a little complete. Yeah,
because it told a complete like story, even if it was just a flashback. It was its own thing. And then with the episode Day, it just cuts as soon as the I think he's the Stranger is his actual marketing title.
He's a Sith.
As soon as the Stranger appears, the episode just kind of cut. And I think with that episode especially, it felt the worst out of all the abrupt endings. Because so little happened in that episode that the idiots on Twitter are just like, this show's awful, nothing's happening, and they said a pronoun, and it's like, okay. I think this show should have released all at once.
I think that would
have fixed a lot of the issues.
My problem with it is not unique to this show. It's the same feeling I get when like Ahsoka drops, or when like Ahsoka was airing, where it feels like it has the same problem. And I don't think I would notice it as much as because another show that's airing right now is The Boys, and The Boys is also doing 8-episode seasons, right? But their episodes feel like so much more like substantive.
They're longer. They're like a whole
and they're
movie.
Longer too. I don't understand why these shows are so short. Like the episode 5, literally the credits rolled at 28 minutes in.
Of Acolyte?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize it was that short.
It's so short. They're like the length of Clone Wars episodes.
I mean, episode 5 felt a lot more substantial just because the plot was actually moving for like almost the whole episode.
But I don't know. It's just this weird thing, and it's unique to these shows. Like I only get it because I got it watching Kenobi too. Like it's a problem that I have.
Kenobi just like there was nothing going on, so it just felt like kind of a waste of time.
Yeah,
most of the episodes.
It feels like they're scared to like stop the plot and like go explore character stuff.
This one I think a little bit better than Obi-Wan. It feels like there are things happening. Like the plot, I think because we don't know exactly where it's going, it kind of feels sometimes like we're not really going anywhere because stuff is happening, but it's hard to tell what any of that stuff means. And I think whatever the reveal is that they're doing with Soul, I think they've taken a little too long to get there. I feel like it's kind of hard to keep people invested.
I think that'll be the big at the end of the show.
I think they'll do that next episode or the episode after. That'll be the finale or whatever. The big moment. But I mean, this last episode had some crazy moments.
I liked that they killed all the Jedi off.
All of them.
I did not expect them to do that. I thought they were going to do a cop-out.
I had some problems with this villain, especially during the reveal. I was like, all right, I kind of saw this coming.
Everyone saw that coming.
This guy, he seems kind of...
It's the only guy it could be. Dude.
Yeah, he's the only other character in the whole show with a name,
that's my problem. If these episodes were longer, we could have, like, red herrings.
Yeah, but
because
he's the only guy in the show.
He's the only other guy in the show.
But, even, all that aside, his reveal was a little underwhelming, but they made up for it. Because this villain did some insane kills. Like, stuff this is not a Star Wars villain. This is a Mortal Kombat character who was thrown into the Star Wars universe.
I mean, he does some decapitations and
He does straight up decapitate. He snaps a dude's neck on screen. Dude, when he stabs the one dude and then double impales them.
That was pretty cool.
That was crazy. When he goes freaking triple mode on the girl.
Yeah.
That was brutal. That was so cool.
Have we seen the thing? Because he obviously has some sort of metal that like...
So that's called...
temporarily cancels the lightsabers.
It's called cortosis. That's actually something from the Darth Bane books.
Okay.
And that's actually what Darth Bane used to mine before he became a Sith Lord. This is we're going deep in the lore right now, but that's what that is.
What
That's
to mine. What Darth Bane used.
Well,
to
that's what his
mine.
job was.
Anyway,
And then he bit a dude's finger off and then got fired. And then
hey, don't do that. You won't get fired from your job if you don't bite anyone's finger.
True. Yeah, if he didn't do that, he would never have been a Sith
He would be
Lord.
employed. Had a thought.
Oh, we got to see the Takata lightsaber style, which was really cool with the like lightsaber splitting in half.
Saber.
That was sick. That was really cool. The choreography continues to be probably the most impressive we've seen in a non-prequel movie lightsaber combat.
Yeah, that stuff was all fun. I thought it was interesting. I think it's going. I was intrigued. I was like, okay, I don't know exactly where they're going with this.
Once they killed off the named characters, I was like, oh, what's okay? So no spin-offs, I guess. No spin-offs for this show,
unless some of them are just like magically alive.
I don't
know.
Don't know.
Would any? I mean, force healing.
Girl dead. Guy definitely 100% dead. The other Jedi didn't even have names. They don't even count.
No, the nameless ones are
they're cooked. It's over for them.
No, I did enjoy because the people whining about the show on Twitter were whining that all of these Jedi would have to die for them to not know about the Sith and Phantom Menace.
And they do.
And then they did, and they were like, "But he's still a Sith, though." And I'm like,
"Okay, but we know that the Sith existed.
The Sith were around. That was the whole point. The whole point was that they were there the whole time, and the Jedi were stupid and didn't notice."
So, allow me to explain some lore, perhaps, for those of you who are unaware of how this happened.
Is there still a big majority of the Star Wars fan base that doesn't understand that the point of the prequels was that the Jedi are lame and dumb?
They were arrogant and ignorant, and that led to their downfall.
That was the whole point, was that it was their fault that they all died.
It wasn't Tathon. I don't remember the name of the planet. There was a battle between the Dark Brotherhood, which was what the Sith were calling themselves at the time. They had kind of rejected a lot of the Sith numerology and culture, so they were kind of trying to be just like an evil Jedi order for the most part. And the Jedi, led by General Hoth, were on the precipice of wiping them out. Is that what
the planet Hoth is named after?
Well, I'm getting there. The way that they managed to wipe them out was they convinced the Dark Brotherhood to detonate a Force weapon that would kill all of them, as well as all the Jedi on that planet. So Jedi General Hoth, as well as 100 other Jedi Knights, sacrificed themselves, died in the blast, which resulted in the death of the entirety of the Dark Brotherhood, with the exception of Darth Bane, who fled the planet. He's the one who convinced them to do this whole thing to begin with. And all the Jedi that were there with them. That blast is what ruptured the environment of that planet, and it was named after Hoth in memorial of his sacrifice. That's why Hoth is like a snowy planet, is because the ecology was destroyed.
That's not canon anymore.
Well, I'm getting there. That's why the Jedi thought the Sith were extinct. Because after that battle, it was understood there were no more dark side users around. They didn't know Darth Bane had escaped. He was the only one who escaped. He took on an apprentice, Darth Zana, who was a child that was under the training of the Jedi at the time that they had left behind when they evacuated. And then that's what led to the creation of the Rule of Two and the modern iteration of the Sith. So the Jedi were completely unaware that the Sith existed. The Sith survived, but because of the Jedi's arrogance, because they believed they had succeeded and didn't bother to investigate further, even when rumors of the Sith's activity surfaced, they were like, no, we did our jobs. We don't need to worry about this. This has been settled. We don't need to address this. And they continued to ignore, sometimes even intentionally, valid rumors of Sith resurgence. That's what led to the fall of the Jedi Order in Episode 1. This is stuff that I understand if you are unaware of, because it's buried in 3 textbooks that were published in the early 2000s. But that is the backstory of why the Jedi are unaware of the Sith.
Well, they've changed it now. It's not Hoth anymore. Because the big Force weapon, that kills
thought
everyone.
bomb is the name of the weapon, by the way, which is very stupid.
Well, but that's in Rebels. They go to that planet where that battle was, and it's changed to a different planet.
Well, no. Okay.
The big pyramid.
That's Korriban. That also happened on Korriban, but that was a different battle.
Okay, well, that's happened in canon. And
Yes.
the Hoth stuff isn't canon anymore. So we're going
No,
with that.
that stuff was canon in the old Republic stuff.
The
Both
old Republic
of those
stuff is
battles
not
happened.
canon. The one that happened in Rebels is canon, because Rebels is
Yes,
canon.
the one that happened in Rebels was this. I'm not talking about the battle that happened on Hoth. That battle that happened in Rebels that they talked about also happened during that time period.
So
that
the
happened
same
twice.
thing happened at the same time.
Yeah, because they had to know how to do the thought bomb the second time. They had to have done it a first time.
But we only know about one because
We've only seen one in the stuff
we don't.
we've
They
seen.
can change the Darth Bane
Yeah.
stuff whenever they.
They
feel
can
like
kind
it.
of mess around with that because again, there's a concept in storytelling called something being behind the curtain. Nothing is 100% fact in a universe until it is put in front of the curtain. Everything that is only in the books, only in the episode 1 DVD extras, all that stuff is behind the curtain. It has not been said by a character in a
has
mainstream.
died like 6 times.
Yes. But until it happens in either Clone Wars, a Clone Wars affiliated TV series, or a live action Star Wars product,
The movies.
it is not canon. Until it is in one of those places, it functionally doesn't exist. Don't even consider it part of the canon.
It's just fun.
It's just a fun
side stuff.
sort of little trivia bit you can throw at your friends when you're talking about Star Wars.
Yeah.
All that in mind, Yadi Mundi.
I don't care.
No one should care.
No, this is literally. I don't think there's a dumber thing ever.
Do you know what
that's ever been? Like, I don't think there's a dumber thing anyone's ever.
I can make
complained
it
about.
dumber. Do you know where the only source for his
Was
birthday
it like a
is?
bubblegum card?
No. It's even dumber.
Oh,
it's
what's
in
that?
the DVD extras for the initial DVD release of episode 1. And to make it even funnier, that exact DVD extra that his age comes from also said he was a Jedi Knight, which is wrong
No,
even
he's on
in the
council.
movie,
Yeah, he's on the council.
as well as him having a purple lightsaber, which has never been the case. So the only source people have for like complaining about this is a thing that is in all other accounts wrong.
Bro, literally. No, I'm serious. I don't think there's a dumber. Kiadi Mundi's birthday, the penis head guy. I don't think there's ever been a dumber thing someone has gotten upset about. Where are we, Sam, as a culture, where there are people who pretend to get upset about this
You know what the OG
and make money
You know
on
what
it?
the OG Kiadi Mundi retcon was? The real. You guys want to talk Kiadi Mundi retcons? You want to talk some real Kiadi Mundi retcons?
No one's ever gone, I would have talked
He used
Kiadi
to be
Mundi.
the only Jedi on the Jedi in the entire order who was allowed to not only marry but have multiple wives because his species was going extinct and he was given an exception by the Jedi Council to
Yeah,
repopulate
brother.
his planet.
My boy.
That's some real Kiadi
He was
Mundi
the only
retcons.
Mormon Jedi.
That is no longer canon. Star Wars has
They
nixed
had to
that.
change that.
But that was in George's version of Star Wars canon.
I'm more upset that they changed that than that they changed his birthday.
Yeah, because at least the other thing's
Because that's
funny.
funny.
Yeah.
Because some weird perv thought that was a thing.
Some guy was
that
like,
necessary.
what if Kiadi Mundi had like
What if
12
Kiadi Mundi
wives?
had 12 wives.
Like, what?
No, I mean, I think we're so distracted. Do we count Kiadi Mundi's appearance as a glup crapo?
Not really, because
I
like,
don't think
I
it
didn't
is.
even know that was Kiadi Mundi until the credits rolled.
Yeah. I think most people probably just assumed it was another
Mhm.
one of his race. But
Also, he's only in it for like 2 seconds. That's like counting Chopper. That's like counting Chopper and Rogue One as a glup crapo. Like he's like barely even in it.
Was he in the
He was in the
background
background on Yavin 4. Like,
No,
Sorta,
like a
but
Glup
nah.
Crapo is like C-3PO and R2-D2 in that movie is a Glup Crapo. Where they just
Yeah, where
cut
they
to
don't-
them
they
on
have
the
no
ba-
reason
and they're
to be
just
there.
standing there. Yeah, like that's a Glup Crap. And I don't even think they should be there technically at that time.
well, they could have been there, but it would have. That would mean that Princess Leia.
That would have mean they got. That would have mean like they immediately got on that blockade runner.
Princess Leia like left whatever planet she was doing her diplomatic mission from.
Came back,
went to Yavin 4 to pick up her boys, and then left,
and then left,
and then left again.
All during the Battle of Scarif, because that's all. Because
within
the
like
the beginning of
within like the roughly 2-hour period that the Battle of Scarif took place in.
But yeah, that's no. I thought that was fine. Genuinely, if it had been Yoda, I would have been upset. I think I've said this when we talked about the show before. Maybe we said it off the podcast, but the restraint they have shown by Yoda not showing up
is incredible.
I am legitimately in awe.
Now, I think if they wanted to prevent, and to be fair, they did not know that they were going to cause an apocalypse by misnomering Ki-Adi-Mundi's birthday. But
again, the dumbest thing anyone's ever cared about.
They could have avoided it by using Yaddle. You kind of get that same, oh, she's been alive forever, but also she's not Yoda, so we can kind of play around with her a little more. That would have been probably easier for the fan base to accept. But again, I don't think that they even knew what Ki-Adi-Mundi's birthday was, because why would you?
No, I think they probably just had like the prosthetic.
Yeah, like in-house.
In the makeup room, and we're just like, just put it on this guy.
We'll just say his birthday was 100 years ago.
Like,
who cares?
They're aliens, dude. They could all be 1,000,000 years old. It doesn't matter.
Well, and Yoda's not the only Jedi who lives like a really long time. There are, I mean, freaking, if Kalnaka wasn't killed off screen, he would have still been alive during the episode 1.
Chewbacca's around during this time.
Yeah, he's somewhere.
Like a kid or something, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know how I feel about May and Osha swapping places.
I don't know where they're going with that.
And also, why doesn't Soul...
Do you think the big twist will be that, like...
Osha's gonna turn bad and May's gonna turn good?
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. I mean, I'd be fine with that. Because, like, once Osha figures out what the truth is, whatever that is, if she fell to the dark side and then her sister...
Would Soul not be able to sense that it's...
That's what I was wondering. Now, you could argue the dark side is stronger wherever there's a lot of death, right? So maybe his senses are like out of whack.
Yeah, he's probably
he just watched his
killed.
Basically his adopted child, like all his friends,
all
his friends just died.
Yeah.
So I get it if his senses are not 100%. But the Sith Lord, does he not know, or is he saving her for something?
I think he might know.
I'm not sure. I hope that he knows. Because
he's mad at Asha's the bad one, right?
Osha's the good one. May's the bad one.
May. Osha, May. I don't know.
They call her Oshi as well. Her sister does.
May. I think he's mad at May earlier in the episode. I think he might just be like, well, if this one's not working out, I'll try the other one.
Yeah, and now that's something I did want to mention. I don't really understand why May flip-flopped.
Because it's her sister.
Yeah, but like she already murdered 2 dudes. We're past the like, oh, it's my... I mean, I guess if Anakin can get redeemed, anyone can. But like, no one even tried to redeem her. She just randomly was like, meh. I don't know. I was like, what? Okay, but what?
Everyone gets a redemption arc. Star Wars. There are no bad guys.
I mean, it's fine. It just kind of felt out of place. I feel like they could have done it better.
The only one who stays evil is Palpatine.
And this other new guy.
Well, you don't know.
He can't turn
good. What if he joins the Jedi Order by the end of the show? that would be canon breaking. Yeah. That would actually mess with the canon in irreparable ways. No more Sith. He's just a Jedi. He just had a bad week. The Jedi who had a bad week. It's fine. Also, well, he apparently has got something with Soul. Also, they apparently have a history.
Because he was familiar. He was familiar with them. Do you think he's a fallen Padawan of Soul? If so, Soul's got a fallen Padawan, like a really bad
Soul
fallen Padawan.
Soul must have done some messed up crap, dude.
Dude, but he's such a chill dude.
Chill dudes are always... There's always something.
But it's like he's like Qui-Gon Jinn levels of chill, you know? He's like the chillest guy.
Because he's also apparently wronged
May in some way.
May and Osha, and then also this dude separately, or maybe it's all related.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm interested to see where we go.
What if he was like a Sith? What if he was like a Sith that like
a redeemed Sith Lord?
Like redeemed. He was doing a bunch of bad.
That could be interesting, but I would be hard to believe that.
Or he's really a fraud and he's actually
Oh, and what was it?
Something's got to happen where he
The-
doesn't just email the Jedi Order.
The stranger also, apparently his powers are like similar to the witch's powers. Because Osha was like, "Oh, I've seen them get into Jedi's minds before. My mom could do that."
Well, I think the
Or was that just to show that he uses the dark side? But I think we already knew that. I feel like that was
because
clear.
also the Jedi. But I think part of the point of the show is that the Jedi have like monopolized Force use.
Yeah.
And so anything that they are not like allowing people to do, it would make sense that people are just like, you can, like, what? You can do that? And most people would like, the Jedi would not know the power of the dark side because they've never encountered
Yeah,
it
they have not encountered dark side force abilities in
at this point.
roughly 4,000 years,
Yeah,
assuming
they've just been hanging out, eating cotton
or
candy,
2,000
waving
years.
their magic sticks
Assuming
around.
that the last time they interacted with a Sith was, assuming it's sort of wishy-washy canonicity, the events of the battle
We'll
of
explore it at some point, Sam.
whatever planet that was that Hoth died on.
Whenever the algorithm says it's time, we go to the Old Republic.
One of these days.
Whenever it says we've sufficiently filled the episodes 3 and 4 time gap, and we've told every possible story that can be told in that time period, then we'll go to the Old Republic.
Yep. All right. Well,
Or every story that's set between episodes.
let's talk
6 and 7.
about some. Oh, this is just kind of a funny coincidence. In the most recent episode of House of the Dragon, one of the bad guys does try to, there's not really bad guys. One of the guys does try to assassinate Rhaenyra by like swapping with his twin, which is just, it's funny because the same exact thing is happening in Acolyte.
I don't watch Game.
I know. I'm just telling. It's funny that two Nichols situation.
So many shows are airing right now. Sam, have you been watching My Adventures with Superman?
Yes. I think I'm on the latest episode.
That's pretty good.
I think Supergirl is actually interesting for the first time.
Sometimes she's interesting.
This time she's interesting.
She's more interesting than in the TV show Supergirl.
Yes, because in that show she's just Superman, but like
remember
a
when
different skin.
Remember when they had a storyline on that show about how there was like a dude with a gun, and then they all stopped using guns because there was like one dude with a gun, and I'm like, it's
You're police officers.
I was like, it's Supergirl.
You kind of need guns.
Supergirl can just like, and then the gun doesn't. Why is this even a problem for anyone?
This should not have been an issue.
This
Much
should
less
not
a
have been
controversial thing to do.
This organization doesn't need to exist. Supergirl is here.
She does all the work.
What is the rest of them doing?
Government waste. Anyway,
anyway,
let's talk about trailers. What trailers do we have going on?
Sam, we have a trailer for Red One. Do you know what this is?
I don't. Let me get it pulled.
This is the Dwayne Johnson action Christmas film with Chris Evans and J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons plays buff Santa Claus, and he gets kidnapped by some terrorists or something. And Dwayne Johnson has to team up with Chris Evans to rescue Santa Claus.
And why?
And the CGI looks terrible, and it looks like maybe the worst movie ever made.
Why is this in our docket?
Damn. Why would it not be? This is like a big movie, big blockbuster movie. Everyone's
Is it coming out in theaters?
Of course.
Oh, I just assumed this was direct to Netflix from your description.
$250 million budget. Reported. Amazon.
So this
MGM.
costs as much as Avengers: Infinity War.
Mm-hmm. Amazon MGM is it's a movie from them. Jake Kasdan of the Jumanji films directing. Chris Morgan of, I believe, 5 or 6 Fast and Furious sequels screenwriting. Are you not? Is this not exciting you?
Nope.
Why are you not excited? Sam, do I have to repeat that J.K. Simmons is playing Santa Claus?
Didn't he play Santa Claus in something else?
Maybe. I don't know.
Is that polar bear walking?
I think so. I think there's a talking polar bear.
There's a talk. Why? Oh, there's a talking polar.
Chris Evans plays like a tracker, like a man trafficker, not like a guy who traffics men.
What do you
like,
mean a man trafficker? What
sorry,
is that?
A man tracker.
A man trafficker.
A guy who tracks down men.
So a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Oh, he has Ant-Man powers.
Yeah, they can Ant-Man toy.
Why does he have
cars or
Ant-Man
something.
powers?
I don't
What
know.
is this movie about?
I don't understand it.
What is the plot?
I don't know what they're fighting.
Oh, okay. The Headless Horseman. We got a Minotaur.
Krampus is in it.
Krampus. Okay.
But Krampus is not the villain. The villain is like some regular terrorists, I think. I don't know why they would kidnap
Dwayne Johnson's
Santa.
here. Okay, yep. Oh, it only said Dwayne Johnson. Okay, and there's Chris Evans, like 5 seconds later. Okay. Oh, they kidnapped Santa. Oh, the Sandman.
This movie's gonna lose. Like,
so is this just like
$300
a
million.
spiritual successor to the Guardians?
Oh, that animated movie?
Yeah.
Maybe.
But instead of the Guardians, it's like Dwayne and his friends, and like they are fighting the same guys.
I don't. There is no world where this does not lose hundreds of millions of dollars, right? Like, this is not a hit.
This could randomly do really well for no reason.
No, it can't. It just won't.
I could see it randomly doing well for no reason. I could see Grandma being aware of this.
No.
Because Dwayne The Rock's in it.
Dwayne The Rock.
And it's about Santa Claus. Those are like the two.
Movie would have.
Those are the two most famous guys.
This movie would have to
history.
make like $800 million or like $600 million to eke out a profit. You really see that being a reality we live in? Where the movie, because it's not going to be good.
They're also marketing
Look at the trailer.
Like so
it's not
early.
Gonna be
no,
good.
It's going to be really bad.
It's going to be really bad. So like that's who's watching this?
I mean, hopefully
other than us.
I mean, I don't really want to watch.
You're going to.
But I mean, we thought Violent Night was going to be really bad, and that movie was actually pretty fun.
That movie also didn't cost $250 million.
That's true.
That movie cost like $50 million. You could tell because it all took place in one house.
I kind of want to see a sequel to that. Honestly.
I think they're working on one. I think that was they're going to bring in Mrs. Claus. I think that's the plan.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Because she's teased, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about Batman Cape Crusader.
Have you seen this? This looks really solid.
I have not seen this.
This is the new animated series over at Prime Video.
I kind of wanted the art style to be a little bit more stylized.
It looks pretty much just like
it looks
Batman
like
the Animated Series if it was made today, which is fine.
Well, no, not even. It's like it's just very modern kind of superhero DC animation style.
I'm upset he doesn't have the purple gloves. If we're doing 40s Batman with the big ears, I need the purple gloves.
Like the Batman the Animated Series show was animated all on like black paper to make everything like dark. It just kind of made everything more stylized. Like this looks like the regular DC animated like movies and stuff that they put on like HBO Max.
It looks a little more fluid than that.
It looks like Harley Quinn, but like with the brightness turned down, which isn't bad. Harley Quinn looks good, but like I was expecting a little bit more, maybe like a little bit more of like a sketchy kind of art style. I don't know. I was just expecting a little more.
They also revealed the voice cast. Hamash Linklater is Batman.
Sure.
You don't know who that is. He was in the show Midnight Mass, which I feel like I never shut up about, but he's really good in that. And you hear a little bit of the Batman voice in this. It sounds pretty good. Christina Ricci is Catwoman. Jamie Chung is Harley Quinn. Diedrich Bader, who was, of course, the voice of Batman before, he's going to be Two-Face.
Why is Harley Quinn in this?
They're doing a different thing where there's a Harley Quinn, but there's no Joker yet.
What are we doing here?
She's going to be in love with Renee Montoya.
What are we doing?
The 1940s.
Do you know what Harley Quinn is? Harley Quinn is girl Joker.
No, Sam. She's her own character now.
Yes, but also not really.
But she's her own character now.
Name 3 defining character traits. Wait, hang on. Give me 3 defining character traits of Harley Quinn without using the word Joker.
She's blonde. Got a big hammer.
Sometimes, not always.
She's in love with Poison Ivy.
Sometimes.
On the Suicide Squad.
Sometimes. Like, all of her defining characteristics are just like, oh, we need a character who's hot, put her in this random thing.
Sam, that's what the script testing says.
Now, the Harley Quinn show is really good, because, like, that show's not about Harley Quinn. It's like a different
No, it's basically
character.
just Batman the Brave and the Bold for adults.
Yeah, it's Batman the Brave and the Bold, but like if Batman was like a horny woman.
Yeah.
And then that's like, which is fine. That's a funny show. And that show is really good. Harley Quinn is really funny in that show. That show is not the same Harley Quinn from Batman the Animated Series, from every iteration of the character up until really the 2016 Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, well, that's when she blew up, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, this looks solid. I was gonna say something else, but now I don't remember what it was because you started yapping.
I was just like,
oh,
it's just
I was
seems
gonna
very
say
weird.
it's because one executive probably said we need to put Harley Quinn in the show, and then another executive says you have to save Joker for a season 2.
Yeah, because Joker makes all the
We
money.
have to build up,
and
to a
Harley
Joker.
Quinn is one of their 3 most recognizable characters right now.
So one and not the other.
Yeah.
And then you can get them together in season 3 or whatever if that ever happens. The show will
Sure.
probably get canceled.
I
so
mean,
who knows.
yeah, maybe.
And Onomatopoeia's in the trailer, Sam.
Ooh, what is that?
The Green Arrow villain, but he's in this.
What is that? Like the kind of the words that are the same
He's a
backwards as
villain.
they are forwards?
Yeah.
Does he talk backwards?
Nope.
Why is he called that?
He's a Green Arrow villain.
But what does he do?
I don't remember.
Okay, what is this? What is this other thing?
Oh, the next
Other Batman thing.
Oh, Watchmen?
Oh, Watchmen.
This
going
is
on
they
with
made a
this?
trailer. This is the trailer for the
Is
they're
it
doing
CG?
they're doing 2 direct to video
Is CGI?
Watchmen movies that are CG.
This looks weird.
I saw a bunch of comments
Why?
being like, "You guys ripping off Zack Snyder again?" Like, yes, Zack Snyder famously created
Famously
Watchmen,
creator of the Watchers,
Yep.
Zack Snyder.
of Watchmen. Yep.
Oh, they gave him pants.
Oh, Miss Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
It's been rated R for nudity, so I think he's
Maybe
only
that's
gonna,
just for the trailer.
maybe they're just putting the pants in for now, and they'll take him
He's
out
got
later.
he'll have a big
Which means someone would
big
probably
blue
had to
weenie.
animate his dong. Someone probably had to animate Dr. Manhattan's dong.
I wonder who animated
Did you know that?
the BBC. But
Wow.
it's blue this time.
Wow. Did you know that like pretty much anytime you see a penis in a movie or TV show, it's usually CGI.
Yeah, I did know that because the animators for Euphoria like talked about that in an interview.
The main reason they do it is for consistency.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's just from shot to shot.
Fun facts. Hope you guys are enjoying all the fun facts today on the McDonCast. All right.
There's a trailer. I didn't watch the next trailer. There's a trailer for Smile 2. Remember the movie Smile?
Yeah.
The movie that everyone saw and made a bunch of money, and I didn't like.
That movie sucked.
Did you? Yeah, I don't think either
That
of us
movie
liked
was
it.
really dumb. I'm not.
I
watching
did
the
not
trailer. I
like
don't care.
Smile.
What's the next one? Nosferatu. I don't care.
You
about
saw
that
the
either.
trailer for this one in front of the bike riders.
Yeah, we don't need to watch that one. What's this? The Penguin?
There was another trailer for the Penguin.
It's the same
show.
trailer as the last trailer for the Penguin. I'm not
Okay,
watching that one
jeez,
either.
Sam.
What do we got here?
Oh, it's a trailer for Robert Zemeckis' new film with Tom Hanks. Director of Forrest Gump
Oh, okay.
and Back to the Future and Castaway.
Well, this looks like those 3 movies
This
combined.
movie is one shot. It's one shot
Oh, okay.
of a single location, and it takes place over the course of hundreds of years.
Okay, but I'm seeing shots of like roads and things
yes,
and like mountains and stuff.
like
so.
the camera doesn't move the whole time.
Oh, so it starts off like in the middle of like nature.
And we're just cutting as time passes. And like we see time pass from this one spot.
That's kind of cool.
It's a neat idea. I don't know if it's a feature.
I don't think I want to see a whole movie.
Yeah,
of
I think
but,
that would be a neat like 30
honestly, like
minute
the
short.
trailer, I'm kind of good. Honestly, like that, I get the full experience of like the intention of this.
But who
movie
knows?
here.
Maybe it'll tug on the old heartstrings or something. But no, it's like it's a nice. It's just a play if you really think about it. That's
Yeah, that's
pretty
kinda
much
what a
just what a
play
play
is.
is. Maybe he should just do theater. But the other thing was that they're digitally de-aging Tom Hanks. And,
Yeah, I see that.
And the other person, I don't remember who the other one in it is. But it does not look great.
You know what I just learned actually, like not that long ago?
What's that?
So you can hire like younger actors that like aren't famous yet and then like put them in movies. Like there are people who act
What?
who like haven't been doing it for like 80 years. Yeah, so I just figured this out like the other day. Like you actually don't have to take
You don't have to be 55?
You don't have to take 6-year-old actors and then like digitally alter their faces, which cost millions of dollars. You actually can just hire a different guy, and it's less expensive because you don't have to pay him as much because he's not as famous.
But then they.
Yeah, it's like super easy to like. The crazy thing is people actually want to be in movies. Like there are like
why
thousands and thousands of people who like really want to be actors.
Like why?
Because it's like a cool job to have.
What's the point if you're not 62?
Well, that's the crazy part is no one knows.
No, the Furiosa did it where they hired a younger actor and then they
digitally aged him.
They digitally made them look like the grown-up actor, like more over time.
That's fine.
That
makes way more sense to me.
That makes more sense than taking like a 60-year-old man and like
making him look 25.
Trying to like paste over his body the look of him when he was 40 years younger. Just get a guy who has like the same body type for when he was that age and then put his face over that guy. That's what they did for Captain America, the First Avenger. You remember that? Where they took Chris Evans' face and put it on a different guy? That still holds up fine.
It looks a little weird because his head's kind of too big, but like it looks fine.
That looks better than if they took Chris Evans and tried to shrink him with computers.
But see, that to me at least, you can justify that because like that's the same character.
Yeah.
This isn't a pre-existing thing. You actually can just have a younger actor be in the movie. And there's like zero barriers to doing that.
I guess it's because they want to.
I guess Robert Zemeckis knows Tom Hanks, so like he wants his buddy in the movie.
In all of the movies together, but like,
I guess make him be an old guy then. I guess
so. It's so that they can look like they're aging more, but like
still very
other
weird.
ways. Because my problem with it is never like, even if you can get the face to look fine. It's the voice and the way they move, because old people move differently than young people.
Yeah, and that was
old people. Everything hurts, so you can tell when they're moving.
Yeah, that was like part of what made Samuel L. Jackson's performance in
Captain Marvel
so weird, because he was supposed to be like in his early like 20s or his like late 20s, early 30s, and he was moving like a 70-year-old man because he's a 70-year-old man
hobbling around. It was the same thing with that opening scene from the last Indiana Jones.
Yeah, where he's like running,
where like
jumping.
They got it to look pretty much like young Harrison
exactly
Ford,
like him, but he's like limping around.
But he's limping around, and his voice sounds like he's been smoking for 45 years. Like he's obviously way older. That's always my issue with it.
That's why I'm excited for the Indiana Jones game, because like it's a fully CGI Harrison Ford,
and it's not Harrison Ford,
but he's an animated cartoon, so he doesn't move like an old
different guy.
Yeah, that's fine. So long as he sounds the part.
Do you know that they got
and acts the part?
You know that they got Harrison Ford to record dialogue for the Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens video game? Like they got Harrison Ford to do that.
He was probably just like around.
That's wild.
Maybe does he have kids?
I think he does, but they've got to be like old.
Well, I'm thinking he might have grandkids who like play Lego games, and then
one
of his kids was like, "Yo, Dad, my son really likes this Lego game. Can you please be in our game?"
I don't understand why Harrison Ford does anything now. I know money.
He doesn't want to do. I mean, Indiana Jones, he just really likes to do. So like that, I got. But why did he do it? Why did he do Star Wars? Why did he do anything?
Why is he doing like Marvel stuff now, dude?
Yeah, he's starting a new. And then, like, he's gonna be this character for presumably for a while.
He's like
at least
82.
At least a movie or two
until he dies. Which could be in like
wouldn't be the first time Thunderbolt Ross died.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't even, because that's another thing. Because the thing that always made him mad about Star Wars was that like nerds were coming up to him on the street every day and asking him whether he shot Greedo first.
Mm-hmm.
But like they're gonna do the same thing with this.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Are you in Marvel movie?"
They're going to be like, so does the Red Hulk stronger than the Green Hulk?
And as far as I understand, basically every single actor ever hates being asked if they're in a Marvel thing.
Yes, because that would be annoying. That would be like that would be like not working at Dairy Queen, but every single day someone asked you what it was like to be working at Dairy Queen.
But see, it's like they pick very specific actors that they think kind of look like people from the comic books they like, and then they just harass them until they do.
Yeah, they're just like, you're going to be Ghost Rider. And they're just like, not.
Like it happened with John Krasinski's Emily
Blunt.
Yeah, it happened with Emily Blunt.
They spent the entire Quiet Place 2.
I mean, John
press
Krasinski
tour.
also, like, he wasn't gonna be Mr. Fantastic, and then they just bullied him into doing it. He wasn't even
that
very
one
good
movie.
at it. So, like, it was like, why did we do that?
He was pretty bad.
He was fine, but, like, I don't know if he's gonna carry a whole movie.
No, he's not. They got Pedro
They got
Pascal.
Pedro Pascal, which is another weird choice.
I don't like that casting.
Me neither. Like, he shouldn't be that
No,
old
he's
yet.
too old. Because Pedro Pascal's like 52.
Yeah. And the only like action character he is a guy who like he doesn't have to ever even be on set to play. So
and Mando. But
yeah.
he's never in this. Yeah, he's never in this.
Well, he's not. The Joel role is not.
That one's not gonna be around.
For a super long time. There's only 2 games, so he only has to do the role twice.
Well, Craig Mazin said the show might last 4 seasons.
Well, they'll probably do like other groups of characters, I would assume.
They're gonna have to make some.
Because Ellie's story
is not 24 episodes long,
and Joel's story is even shorter.
He's been out for 4.
Yeah, but most of the people who have seen the show have not played the game.
They don't know it.
And honestly, at this point, like, why would I even recommend?
He's gonna have a great performance in season 2, episode 1.
Would you even recommend someone play the game? Like thematically,
the first one, yes.
But like thematically, does that even make sense? Does it make more sense thematically to watch the show than it does to play the game?
The narrative of the second game fits the television medium better than the video game medium.
Well, because the whole narrative is very much violence bad.
Because
the whole
game is about. The whole second game is about how negative revenge and violence is. But the only part of it that is a game is doing murders.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing else to do in the game other than those. And in the TV setting, you can.
That's what I'm saying. Thematically, you're not forcing the audience to like be complicit.
Yeah, because
so the themes work a little
the problem
better.
with the second game is not the narrative. The problem with the second game is that there's not a game part other than just the killing. And
they made a movie with like
if you're telling me I shouldn't be doing the killing, then I'm bored playing your game.
Yeah,
that's the problem with The Last of Us 2. But anyway, moving on. Sam, did you see those Superman set photos?
I have seen some Superman set photos.
Get a good look at that suit.
Looks familiar.
I like it.
It looks good. It doesn't look bad.
I like how bright it is. He's got the shorts. He's got the trunks.
It looks like if you were to imagine Superman as what he looks like.
I'm a little iffy on the collar. I think there's a few too many little lines on it.
I like the lines.
I think they're fine. I'd rather have the lines than the big fake muscles. And there are no big fake muscles on it, and I enjoy that.
I like that I'm not a huge fan of the like very spandexy Superman looking suit, kind of like the really, really old one.
You like the Fortnite look. Where it's
well, I just like that it has a little more detail. Like, I feel like the other one, it just looks too plain.
I kind of like it.
And I get thematically why some people might appreciate that more, because Superman is supposed to be kind of the archetypal superhero. He is a superhero with no other set dressing for the most part. But I think just for like pure aesthetic reasons that I prefer the more detailed suits.
Now, the suit that looks pretty great, Mr. Terrific's outfit looks
just like he did in The Flash.
Spot on. That is like 1-to-1 comic translation.
It looks exactly like his Arrowverse.
His Arrowverse suit didn't look bad.
I know. I'm not saying it did. I'm just saying
that
like,
is
no one praised it back then, but like now people are like, oh my god!
I think it was.
This is the best suit ever. It's like, dude, it's the same.
I think it was because no one watched the television show Arrow.
Oh no! Remember they lost their minds over that character.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me about that.
They went bonkers.
No, but that suit looks great. We got our first look at the Daily Planet cast, all the guys from that. So Perry White and Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane.
Jimmy Jim.
And Joe Lombard. The real character. I
really like the versions of them that are in My Adventures with Superman.
They're very good.
Because they gave them like personalities,
yeah,
which I appreciate.
And there's been some
even
set
Cat
photos
Grant is like a real character.
Yeah. There was potentially some spoilery photos if you want to talk about those.
I didn't see those, so I don't want to.
I want to know.
I want to know. I don't want spoilers.
There's a certain character who was walking around on set. It's not like a It kind of just confirms what some of the rumors were.
Hmm.
But let's just say there may or may not be an evil clone of Superman.
Oh, all right. I mean, you know what's funny to me about that character? Is that his name has become synonymous with the evil version or like the opposite version of something.
Well, he's not going to be called that in this.
Well, hang on. But he is like one of, in my opinion, like the least utilized main Superman villains.
Because he's goofy.
He's goofy, but like for the cultural impact that he has had, he is hard. Like most people who use that word, I don't think know that that's where it comes from.
Is that? Are we sure that's where it comes from?
Yeah, because that's just his name.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, bro, the
Mixolydic is not a word people use.
Ambiguation. Yeah, I mean that's where it comes from. Is the comic character?
Yeah, like people go, oh, that's the
Bizarro version.
the Bizarro version of whatever. Like people use that to mean like, oh, that's the antithesis of whatever it is. But like that comes from him, and he like we see over and over again General Zod, Lex Luthor, those two guys basically over and over again.
Live Wire,
the
Atomic Skull.
But like we
the gorilla.
The last time, at least I think I personally in Superman media saw Superman and Bizarro fight was what was it? Not Justice League. It was the Justice Friends or whatever it's called.
Oh, Super Friends?
Yes, Super Friends. That's the last time I think I saw Superman and Bizarro fight, and they weren't even fighting. Superman was just like helping him build a house.
I mean, he's in most Superman stuff.
Like what?
He's in the Superman animated series from the 90s.
I didn't watch.
I know you don't watch a lot of things. I mean, he showed up in Justice League and just like.
I didn't watch those either.
Yeah, I mean, like he's been in stuff. He's not been in any of the movies because he's too goofy for most people to try. Like they're doing a version of him in this. Apparently, what they're doing is, Ultraman.
Yeah,
who's the evil version of Superman from Earth 3.
Yeah,
in Crime Syndicate. They're doing an evil clone of Superman created by Lex Luthor, but they're going to call him Ultraman. And
okay, so they're doing Ultraman, not Bizarro.
Yeah, but he'll be a clone. He won't be like from another universe. And my guess is he'll probably be like a mindless.
Well, Bizarro wasn't a clone.
Yeah, he was.
No, Bizarro was from a square planet, and then he came to Earth, and he was like, "Oh, Superman's cool. I'll do what Superman does."
He was a clone, and then they discovered that planet later, and they moved him to it.
Oh, well, that's even dumber. But
yeah, well, because they were like, well, we need to have a plot line where there's a bunch of Bizarros. How do we get that?
Yeah, but anyway, he's just Superman, but he does the opposite. So like, if Superman takes a cat out of a tree and
put a cat in a
girl,
tree,
he takes the cat from the little girl and puts it in a tree.
And instead of
his whole thing
is
he just does the opposite of what Superman does, which is it's intrinsically funny because it's like not correct at all. Like that conceptually, that's impossible. That doesn't even make any sense.
No,
what does it mean?
He shouldn't fly. He should like dig.
Yeah.
Really
what does
fast.
It mean to be the opposite of a person? It's not really a thing you can.
You shouldn't be alive.
Which is what makes
the
it so
opposite
funny.
of a person is dead. Is just a pile of ash.
Well, that's what makes it funny. Is he's not really the true antithesis of Superman. No. He's just a very confused guy who is doing his best to like just be annoying.
Pretty much.
Anyway.
Yeah, and most stuff he's genuinely not like.
He's not usually a villain.
He's just kind of a dummy.
He's just a dumb guy who doesn't understand that he's like doing the wrong thing.
But no, I'm looking forward to this movie a lot. I'm waiting for those Guy Gardner set photos to leak. That's what I want to get a look at.
Guy Gardner in it?
Oh yeah, I want to see that bowl cut, dude. I want to see that.
I don't really care about Guy Gardner that much.
You don't want to be the first live action appearance of a Green Lantern in 10 years or something.
No.
We're not counting that one that was in Justice League for 0.2 seconds.
That's technically true.
No, this is the first. This is the first one that'll be like a guy.
And there was
literally
there was a Green Lantern in My Adventures with Superman. Also, that's not live action, but that was just cool to see.
But you're a big Green Lantern guy. You love the Green Lantern.
Green Lantern was one of my favorite characters when I was a kid.
Yeah, don't you want to see what they'll look like in live action? Not in the Ryan Reynolds one.
They keep not making him cool.
He's kind of not a weird cool guy.
In the Green Lantern show, he was cool.
It's true. How wild! I was thinking about this the other day.
That show carries my perception of Green Lantern.
How wild is it that Green Lantern got an animated series before Wonder Woman did? How did that happen?
I feel like it's easier to make a Green Lantern show. Like it kind of, because they just made it a buddy cop show. That's like the easiest type of show to write. Whereas with a Wonder Woman show, you have to come up with more characters.
That's all the comics. There's characters in the comics.
Name 3 of Wonder Woman's friends.
There's Nubia. There's Wonder Girl. There's Steve Trevor.
Okay, Steve Trevor, I wouldn't count as like her friend. That's like her boyfriend. Wonder Girl is
character in the comic books.
Is Wonder Girl her daughter or just another person?
Sometimes it's another person. I don't think it's ever.
And then Nubia, she was just made up in like 2015.
No, she's been around for a while.
She
went away and then they brought her back in some more.
Okay, because I only saw her like post.
But no, like she's had comics for.
I mean, she's the third most popular character in that.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
universe. Plenty of stuff. The reason most people don't know that is because they don't adapt anything in the Wonder Woman comics ever.
Yeah, remember when
we got 2 movies and one of them was terrible.
One of them was really bad. Remember when she had a leather jacket?
Remember when she she gave up her powers and like became a kung fu warrior for like a little bit in the 70s? Because the TV show Kung Fu was really big, and they were like, dude, "How do we cash in?"
I love comic book writers, dude. They just do the dumbest things.
Well, it's never the writers; it's someone in editorial comes down and is like,
"Well, I mean more like comic book companies. Like comic book companies are like, I think maybe the dumbest companies ever.
They're more than anyone else. I think it's mostly I think it's literally just because there's such little time in comic book production as compared to like TV or movies, to where comic books, whenever just like a dumb like momentary decision would take hold, like you'd see like the result of that immediately, as opposed to like if a studio executive has like a really bad idea on a movie, you're not going to see that.
You're not going to see that manifest
a year
for
and
like
a half
7
after
years.
it comes out, until it comes out. But like a comic book editor being like, the next issue that comes out in 3 weeks, well, I mean, you got to do this. Do you remember, like they just have to do it.
What was that one team that Marvel almost made and then canceled with?
When they were
the New Warriors.
The New Warriors.
Yeah, with it was Screen Time, and like, Safe Space, Snowflake, the one that was Dora the Explorer, but like she was like overweight. That was like a real superhero
and
team.
They canceled the book.
Screen Time's only power was that he always had access to Google. Something everyone with a phone also can do.
Wasn't Safe Space's power that they could make force fields, but only for other people?
Yeah. And then Snowflake just threw like shurikens. Something, again, any regular human could also do if they just had a backpack. No,
my favorite part of that whole debacle was, that they thought they were so clever for all of those things.
Dude, they thought they were cooking.
They thought they cooked
so hard.
I am not convinced that wasn't.
There was another one. There was Morbius's son was on the team.
Yeah, there was like a vampire guy.
What was his name? It was like
the comic never actually came out, so
it was something blood. It was like the comic book never. No, he was the only other. I think that's all of the characters that were supposed to be on there.
Okay, I'm gonna Google New Warriors woke just to get the answer the fastest.
We're not becoming comic book action figure wall guys. It's just the only way to find this comic book now.
Oh no, that's
because this was like peak like 2013, 2014 when like
Screen Time, Snowflake and Safe Space, B negative, which I guess is
B
based
negative.
On the blood type.
That's Morbius's son.
A teen living vampire exposed to Michael Morbius's blood as a child. He still ages like a regular kid, but has all the abilities of Morbius,
which is just like the abilities of a vampire.
He's obsessed with the 90s.
And for like no reason.
And then the fat girl with a backpack was named Trailblazer.
And I'm not kidding.
I think her power was literally just that she had a
she had a magic
She had the Dora the Explorer backpack.
That had like a liminal space in it that she could store like anything in. She literally had the powers of Dora the Explorer. That is so dumb.
Yeah, Snowflake could just throw snowflake-shaped shurikens at people.
Which is something that I guess Trailblazer could also do if she just filled her backpack with snowflakes.
Hold on. Screen Time was This is the description on the Marvel website.
Yeah.
This is still up, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I occasionally will check out this page just to be like, remember when this happened? That's so funny.
A meme-obsessed super teen whose brain became connected to the
Internet gas.
after becoming exposed to his grandfather's, quote, experimental internet gas.
What does that mean?
Now he can see augmented reality and real-time maps and can instantly Google any fact.
Something anyone with a phone can also do.
If you have Google, you can Google any fact. No one.
Keep in mind, this wasn't this comic book isn't like from the 90s
No,
when
this
like
is from
that would have
4
been a
years ago.
superpower. This is from like 2016.
No, this was Marvel's attempt to create like the most modern thing possible to like appeal to kids.
Except for like no one wanted it, and they just canceled the whole.
Yeah, they
book.
canceled it immediately because what the heck even is this? This is the dumbest idea
Like,
anyone's ever had.
this is back when like
Screen Time's logo is the Wi-Fi symbol.
this is back when the word woke meant like this.
Yeah.
Like that's what that used to mean.
Morbius,
Like when something is so blatantly pandering
dude, the
that it becomes
Morbius
really
guy
stupid.
doesn't have pants. Like he's not wearing pants.
Dude, I love that comic book so much, even though it never existed.
He has a belt but no pants.
He doesn't need pants. He's too cool for pants.
He's just free ball.
I like how his name's B negative.
Yeah, why? Everyone else is like we have Screen Time, we have Snowflake, Safe Space, and Trailblazer, and then just B negative.
Because he's negative. Because he's a goth teen. Because he's an angsty teen.
Whatever happened to this?
And so he's got a B negative.
They're a new generation of heroes. They would if you were in trouble and this team showed up, you would just die. Like, what are they actually?
You're cooked.
What
It's
are they
over.
gonna do?
Hang on, let me Google how to stop your
this
bleeding.
is not even good for like action scenes. Like, what are they supposed to do?
Okay,
I guess
Snowflake and
can
Safe
throw
Space.
things.
Snowflake and Safe Space can kind of do stuff like using force fields. That's a useful power.
Throwing shurikens.
Throwing shuriken. That's basically what Batman does.
But is
that's
Screen
something.
Time literally just gonna show up and Google things?
Yeah, like what is that supposed to do?
And Trailblazer's just gonna be like, I have a sandwich in my bag. I don't know.
Be like, let's see what's in the backpack. Everyone sing the backpack
Yeah,
song. And like, what is this
and
supposed
then one of
to
them
be?
is just Morbius. Like one of them is just straight
It's
up
just Morbius, but like rebranded. Anyway, we got a lot of other stuff to get through. All right, let's see. We did the Superman photos. Let's talk about Blade. What happened with Blade? What's going on with that?
Okay, so we now know that Mahershala Ali is getting increasingly frustrated with the production, based on the fact that his lawyer had an interview where he said that hang on, I have to find it. That they closed the deal in 2019, but they are yet to shoot a single second of footage. He called the matter the craziest thing in my professional experience.
I mean, I would say that too if I was him.
Apparently, he's like manning this whole ship. Apparently, they started doing this because he came to them wanting to do a Blade thing. Like they weren't working on a Blade thing, and then
So is he a producer?
I guess so. But apparently, this was all his idea. Like he went to Marvel and pitched a Blade.
He
movie to
pitched
them.
the Blade project?
Yeah. He, according to sources, envisions this as his Black Panther. So,
I mean, I guess, sure.
but it's been now 5 years since this movie was
That's a
announced.
weird like thing to say.
Why, Sam?
Because this just like are you only saying that because he's like the
Yes.
only other black guy?
Yes.
Like that's just a weird thing to say.
Well, he can't be like, this is gonna be my.
You could say this is gonna be my Iron Man. Like that would mean the same thing.
This is gonna be my Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I mean, you wouldn't want to say that.
But apparently, because of all the turnaround, they've now lost cast members Delroy Lindo and Aaron Pierre. They were gonna shoot the movie last year with two directors ago and like 3 writers ago, and apparently that version of the movie was a period piece. Set in the 1920s, that would have had Mia Goth playing Lilith.
Dude,
and she was gonna be trying to steal blood from Blade's daughter.
I mean, that sounds kind of goofy, but like a Marvel like 1920s period piece with vampires.
But now it's going to take place in modern day. For one version of the movie, they built like the world's biggest train set,
and didn't use.
And then now they're not using it, but apparently Disney's just like keeping it and might use it on something else.
I wonder if they used it on Echo.
No, like they haven't used it yet.
Well, when did they build it?
Like last year.
Because Echo had that big train sequence.
Apparently they're considering using it on a different movie.
That's
so
every
if Jungle
train
Cru-
sequence on an action
if
movie
Jungle
is
Cruise
the most
2 has a big
action movie thing
train
ever.
on it, then it's from
We'll know
this.
why.
Yes. But no, this is crazy. They also, the Hollywood Reporter put out the article. They put a full timeline of like the 7 different writers they've hired over the years. So it was Stacey Oseife-Hofer, then it was Bo DeMaio, and then it was Nick Palazzo, and then Michael Starbury, and then Michael Green, and then Eric Pearson.
Man, they just got the whole industry in on this one.
They're literally just going, and they're still writing it now.
Who hasn't touched this project?
Probably, well, they've only had 2 directors touch it so far, but they've had 6.
Well, they're on
writers.
track to match the Flash's 7. So
That's true. If they can beat out the Flash. No, apparently the Flash only had 1 credited screenwriter, but apparently when they submitted it to the WGA, there were like 24 who had worked on it over the course of its development.
well, they went through 7 directors.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, what I don't understand. Okay, it's Blade. How hard is Blade?
It's just have him kill the
He
vampires.
shows up and I know they probably want to do like Midnight Suns and stuff now and set up a bunch of stuff.
How about you just make him kill
How
vampires?
about you just, since it's been 5 years and Mahershala Ali's like 52 now,
Yo, you know
and
what
he
would
just
be
kill
sick?
some vampires and then
You know what would be
go home.
really cool? If there was like and this is the most like MCU thing ever, this is probably what is gonna happen. What if there was like a evil Blade who also had a sword, and then they have a really crazy sword fight?
Remember when Blade's voice showed up at the end of Eternals?
I thought that was the Black Knight.
The Black Knight was the guy, and then the guy talking off screen was
there was a
Blade.
different guy. What was that sword? Was that the
I don't
Black
know.
Knight sword?
That was the Black Knight's magic sword. I don't know.
Probably Excalibur.
No, it's something else. It's like a special metal, like nth metal.
Sure.
I think it does the katana thing where it has like the souls.
It has like
in
the souls of its fallen
Yeah.
enemies in. Well, we're never gonna see that followed up on, so it doesn't really matter.
Well,
anyway.
yeah, because that would have been like, because that Eternals came out 3 years ago.
21.
21. So that would have been like 7 or 8 scripts of the Blade movie ago. So what even was that set up for now? And if it was going to be in the
No.
20s, would that have even been followed up on in the Blade movie?
Was Mahershala Ali the voice in that movie?
Yes, that was Blade. Like Marvel was like, that was Blade talking.
Okay.
But like, if this
How
was in
many-
the 20s, what was that set up for?
How many setups do we have now? We have Young Avengers
Oh,
set up.
Sam, we could go all day.
We have Blade set up.
I'm pretty sure you could just look at the last 9 things and they're set up for everything in them.
We have Thunderbolts set up.
Power Broker.
Sure.
That was 4 years ago.
I mean, like stuff.
3 years ago.
Like, what are we doing?
Venom symbiote from Spider-Man.
T'Challa for
Baby
like
T'Challa.
10 years in the future
Yeah,
set up.
Baby T'Challa. Star-Lord is out and about. He's just sitting around waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, we got that new Guardians team out.
new
doing
Guardians
stuff.
team.
Spider-Man is like reset. He's got stuff to do.
Yeah, no one remembers Spider-Man. He's got his new suit.
Remember
Daredevil.
when they used to set stuff up and then follow up on it like a year later?
No, they used to follow up on it in the next thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And now that's like, who? Oh, X-Men. Other
Yeah.
Captain Marvel's stuck in the X-Men universe.
Why did they do so much setup with Captain Marvel?
Because that was their like, they were trying to get people to go see it, and that was like their way.
No,
Because
I mean,
remember
with,
they did like there were
the Miss
ads
Marvel character.
when the movie was out, and they were like really desperate for people to come. They were like, something excellent might be in the credits. Something big. Maybe
Something
a
with a
beast
letter
of a
X in
reveal.
it might show
Yeah,
up.
they were
I
doing
don't know
that.
what in Marvel has an X in it, but
You
if
should-
something does, it might be
You
there.
should pay $15 to come watch a 30-second scene with Beast in it.
Remember when
And Frasier.
Remember when Beast and a character no one knows showed up?
Yeah, remember that?
That was cool. All right, let's.
They met-
Is that it for? Is that everything?
They
for
met
Blade? Is there
Spectrum
anything
or
else?
whatever her name is.
Is there anything
Oh, are
else
we
going on
counting
with
those
Blade?
bracelets as a setup? The multiverse bracelets?
Well, weren't those already a thing? No, they weren't. Were they?
Did Secret Invasion? I guess Nick Fury has a wife, but that's not really set up.
That's more.
Secret Invasion.
That's like payoff. That's like payoff for something that was never set up.
Yeah, that whole show was a waste of time.
But I thought the bracelet was already in something.
It was in Miss Marvel.
No, but oh yeah.
Oh, the 10 rings.
Yeah,
the 10
that's
rings
set
are
up for
sending a
something.
signal.
We don't know what that's
yet. Again,
even
that's
set up
another
for.
movie that came out 3 years ago.
I don't even think they know what that's set up for.
No, I think that's the thing. I think they literally just are just throwing stuff out, and then That way, whenever
okay.
a guy comes in, he can just pick a storyline and work.
Some of those things do have clear and obvious directions. Like I would argue the Black Knight, like that's clearly set up for Black Knight. Like
but they're not doing
Young Avengers. That's it doesn't matter if they're doing it or not. I'm just talking about like
when he shows up.
It's obvious what that was teasing. The Shang-Chi thing, they're just like, I don't know, it's beeping.
Yeah,
and then they were like,
they were just like, we got
okay,
we got
what?
4 of the Avengers cast to film on a green screen in their living room,
guys. Guys, it's freaking beeping. What do we do? Nothing, probably.
I think it's maybe a multiverse thing, but it could also just be set up for Shang-Chi 2.
Yeah, maybe some.
But I don't know what to be setting. It'd have to be the dragon guys, right?
Yeah, was it?
It'd have to be.
What's his name? The dragon guy that he fights?
Bing Fang Foom.
Yeah, because he's from like a species of space
That's
dragons.
what the rings are from, was from the alien dragon guy.
Yeah. I mean, we can do that.
That could be Shang-Chi too. Why not? But who knows when that movie's ever coming out? It could be in 7 years.
Well, I think, aren't they already working on it?
They're working on everything, but who knows what that
but I
means.
mean, like, I'm pretty sure the cast is already like.
Well, Destin Daniel Cretton, who directed the first one, stopped working on Avengers and is now just working on that.
Yeah, that's what it was. I knew they were like.
I'd say that's probably
like
2 or 3 years away.
Yeah. All right.
Simu Liu wishes it was right now because he really needs work.
He needs stuff to do.
Yeah.
What do we talk? What's going on with HBO doing?
Sam,
what is HBO up to?
Most of HBO's high-profile IP series will now be moved from the Max Originals banner to under the HBO umbrella. So,
wait a minute. So wait a minute. Maybe taking off the Prestige name is maybe not good for your Prestige titles.
So what that means is that a bunch of shows that were gonna go straight to HBO Max are now gonna air on HBO before now.
What's the over-under on David Zaslav having an IQ above 30?
Above 30?
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably like a 50 or a 60.
I think there's a... Oh, you're saying that's what his IQ, what you think his IQ is?
He's smart at doing...
The IQ of like a potato is like 20.
David Zaslav is very good at what his actual job is, which is just to strip the company for parts and sell a bunch of stuff.
He's great at firing people.
No, well, he's not there for the long haul. He is there right now to make the books look better so that they can sell it and he can leave. He's good at that. He's not good at running the studio, but he also doesn't care about running the studio. So he's not trying.
Yeah, but like, then why is he even doing any of this?
To strip the company for parts so he can sell
it. What does this accomplish?
Well,
he's clearly trying to do something.
These projects include the upcoming Harry Potter series, which just today announced they hired a showrunner and director. Both of them are Succession people, so you love Succession.
What?
Welcome to Derry, which is the It series. They're doing a TV prequel or sequel of It, the clown movie.
Okay.
And the upcoming Lanterns TV show. The change comes after Eternal Evaluation revealed that most of the same methods and creative teams were being used on Max and HBO projects.
You know what?
Shows won't receive the delineation until 2025 because of international deals have already been signed.
I've come to a decision.
The Penguin and Dune Prophecy will both be Max originals, not air on HBO. Starting in 2025, they'll all air on HBO.
Okay, sure, whatever. I've decided I'm not going to engage with any Harry Potter media until this show comes out. I'm going to be the only...
You're gonna go in blind?
I'm going to be the only human being on Earth going in blind to this show. Because I haven't read any of the books.
Nope.
I haven't seen any of the movies.
I've seen a movie.
I have played roughly 2 hours of the Lego Harry Potter video game at a friend's house after he's already beat the game.
Never played it.
That is the sum total of my knowledge of the Harry Potter universe.
I have seen the Broadway show, the 3.5-hour Broadway show, which was cut down from the original 5 hours.
Well, that's something.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I saw the first movie, and that is my... Oh, and when you go to the Harry Potter Broadway show, they give you a playbill that has like 1 paragraph recaps of all the books. I read those.
What?
So I think I have like a passing knowledge.
I know what
the guys' names are.
I know some of the names because of that song from like 2005. I know some of the spells because Death Battle, like Harry Potter used to be in some of them. So like I'm passively aware of like what they do. But that's basically it.
Yeah, no, I'm not a Harry Potter guy. I've never claimed to be a Harry Potter guy. I never will be a Harry Potter guy.
I'll watch this show and I'll go in blind.
I feel every day that passes, I'm too old to start reading the books.
Yeah, I'm never gonna read the books.
That's
We're
never gonna
way
happen.
past that.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna watch the movies because I don't care.
I could watch the movies. I'm just choosing not to.
I have no. There's no part of me that has any desire to read them.
Yeah, it's just not that interesting. To me.
Yeah, it just seems kind of like lame. Like
little boys.
think about the concept of a wizard, and then how lame the Harry Potter version of that is. There's like maybe 2 cool wizards in their whole universe.
And I'll just point and sticks at each.
Yeah, they just go like, bleh, and then you turn into a goat or something.
They do that.
I don't know. Maybe
Most of what I've seen them do is they just shoot a laser at each other.
Yeah, they go Expelliarmus, and then they go like this, and then it becomes Dragon Ball. But instead of shooting lasers, they're pointing a laser pointer at someone.
Yeah. Anyway,
is that it for HBO
Oh,
Max?
I think the reason they're doing this is because they looked at House of the Dragon, and that was doing well, and that is technically an HBO show.
See, that's what I mean.
And they were like, if we do this, then they'll all be House of the Dragon.
Like, you have to have an IQ of 30 to think that that's why that happened. You have to actually be like very deeply stupid. Like, you have to be a deeply unintelligent individual to see that the sub moniker for like the branding of a TV series is the reason it's doing well, when it is the progeny of the best and most popular TV series of all time.
Not the best.
But I mean, like, in its peak. I'm talking about the way people look back on it.
Yeah, no, I think it has something to do with that. There are a lot of Max originals, but they don't like ever market them. So I'm pretty sure that's
They don't
probably
market
the
anything.
reason.
I've never seen an ad.
Like, I'm generally aware of like what HBO is putting out, but like a random Max original that drops on like a Tuesday, I have no idea what that is, and I don't care.
The only shows I see them market ever, so far, is House of the Dragon,
Big push for that.
Smiling Friends.
It's not an HBO show. An Adult Swim series.
No, but that's it. We're done with the list of things.
I see them market some stuff. I saw them market like.
Oh, and they marketed
when Succession was airing. I saw stuff for that.
They did some stuff for Last of Us.
Last of Us, they pushed pretty hard. Park Chan-wook's show, The Sympathizer.
I
saw some stuff for that. I watched the first episode of that. It was pretty good. I never watched it. But like I see stuff for HBO. Like when HBO is airing a show, I'm generally aware of it.
Euphoria usually has a pretty big push.
Max, I have no idea what like Max originals are.
I don't know what the difference is.
One airs on the television channel HBO.
There is no television channel called HBO.
Yes, there is.
There hasn't been for like 10 years.
Because I'm pretty sure most of the people watching House of the Dragon are watching it on Max. Or
The
pirating
only
it.
people watching House
None of them are
the
watching
Dragon,
it on HBO.
The only people
when it
who
airs.
still have HBO, the TV channel,
Yeah.
are people who died and are therefore unable to unsubscribe, and they just still have money in their account.
No, there are. If you still have cable, I know there's still a lot of cable packages that you get.
Yeah, but like that's again, they're not voluntarily choosing to pay for that. It's just there. We're not even voluntarily choosing to pay for that.
I think there's technically like 30 or 40 million subscribers to like HBO proper.
That's what I'm saying. Like half of those have to be dead people.
I mean, who's watching cable? Any
Dead people.
who even know?
People who either are like dead and can't unsubscribe, or people who just like just don't know.
No,
how
I do think
and
you're
just
right.
don't
I
do
think
it
it is a lot of it's just the name. It's just so they can put HBO on it.
But it doesn't matter. No one cares about
But the
that.
HBO name still does mean something.
It does, like as of this
Like, it
moment,
means
but it's
more-
rapidly waning.
It means more than Max original.
It's because Max original means
or
nothing.
Netflix original or like Hulu original.
Netflix original.
There's more prestige with an HBO label.
Netflix original has some weight behind it, just because of Stranger Things.
No.
But that's really it.
Honestly, Netflix original is like anything from Squid Game to like
It just means that
Too
it
Hot
is.
to Handle. Like it's just anything.
It just means that it
It
exists.
just exists.
Yeah.
Like there's no like HBO. You see HBO television show, you're like, okay,
This is a banger.
that's a long form, high budget comedy or drama series.
You know they tried.
Someone tried.
Someone made an attempt.
You see Netflix original, you could have been like, that could have been made last week.
Okay, but counterpoint, The Idol.
See, there are clunkers. I'm not saying they're all good. I'm just saying, like, generally the HBO label is a mark of quality. Like, if you were to go to the HBO tab on Max, right, and pick out like any show from there, you're probably there's like an 80% chance it's worth the watch.
So then why did they take the word HBO out of their name?
To appeal to more idiots.
But does that appeal to more idiots?
Yes.
Who's gonna... Okay, find me the consumer who goes, HBO Max? Ew, gross. That's nasty. Max. Now I'm interested. Apparently, you took those 3 letters off? Now you've got me. Now I'm in.
There were enough people where that change was necessary.
But that's the thing. There aren't. That's something David Zaslav thought was a thing. But it just so blatantly isn't.
No, I don't think it was him. I think they went to their algorithm and
the chart says
we're adding discovery content.
Dude,
How do we broaden the brand?
That was the most accurate joke that's ever been on a Nostalgia Critic video. Was the chart?
Well, guys. It's not a chart. Now it's just the algorithm.
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
They literally just go to ChatGPT and are like, "How to run company good? Will people
is my show good?" And then ChatGPT makes a thing up because that's what it does.
Will people like more Batman? Yeah.
Okay.
Green light more Batman.
Hit the Batman button. It's so dumb. All right,
we need more money. We need more money.
What's next?
Joker. DC Studios' Lantern series has received a straight-to-series order from HBO. The show will be 8 episodes. It's going to follow Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart on a terrestrial-based detective story.
Terrestrial-based?
It's going to be on Earth, baby. Not going to space.
Why?
Chris Mundy, who worked on Ozark, is going to be the co-writer and showrunner. Damon Lindelof, who did Watchmen and Lost, is going to work on it along with Tom King, who's been a longtime DC Comics writer. They're also working on the show. Sam, you're a Green Lantern guy. Does this sound interesting to you?
You know what the coolest part of Space Cop is?
Is the part where
when he's not in space. What? Why?
TV budget say on Earth.
Okay, but we've done TV shows that take place in space before.
My guess is this will be the first.
Star Trek took place in space. That was in the 1960s. They made it work.
But Star Trek was famously almost canceled about 5 different times.
Yes, but they made it work. My point is it can be done. There are modern Star Trek shows that are airing right now.
That's true, but no one watches those and everyone hates them.
That's the thing, but someone would watch this, so take that money and put it in this.
Well, Sam... This is going to be on Earth.
Okay.
I guess other than Peacemaker Season 2, this will be the first DCU series out, so I don't know if this will set up the big overarching story arc. I
can't forget Creature Commandos.
That's an animated show.
Still in the universe.
By the way, Rick Flag Sr. is now confirmed to be in all 3 upcoming DCU projects, so I guess he's their Nick Fury.
Why?
I guess he's their Nick Fury, dude. He's in Creature Commandos, he's in Peacemaker Season 2, and he's in Superman.
Every time I hear a news story about DC, it makes me less excited about
Rick Flag Sr.
Imagine
Rick Flag is dead.
Imagine if in The Hulk 2008, they killed Nick Fury's son off randomly.
Yep.
And then Nick Fury was introduced in Iron Man.
Oh, you mean...
That would have been very weird. Why would you do it that way?
Well, it made sense for Rick Flag to die in that movie.
Yes, but it doesn't make sense for his dad to be Nick Fury.
Is that movie even canon now?
No, because they said...
Who cares?
James Gunn said that Peacemaker Season 1 is not canon. And if Season 1 isn't canon...
Season 2 is canon.
Well... Sure. But if that's not canon, then Suicide Squad definitely isn't canon.
Yeah, you could, but also that movie doesn't work. Not dead at the end. None of it makes any sense. They say they're going to explain it. I don't think they ever are.
They should have just nixed every character.
Lie.
They should have nixed every single character associated with it.
And he couldn't help himself. He wanted to make more Peacemaker.
He should have just then recast it and make John Cena someone else.
But he wanted to make more Peacemaker with those people. And so he's doing this. Because they're also doing the Waller TV show, which continues on from Peacemaker Season 1, which is also not canon anymore.
James.
And they're also... I think I texted you this. They're doing a Blue Beetle animated series.
That's fine. I don't
That's
care.
a continuation of the movie, but also the movie's not canon.
That's not even canon, so like that doesn't matter to me at all. But like in Blue Beetle's a character no one cares about, so like they can make unlimited Blue Beetle stuff and like that doesn't really matter. People watch Peacemaker. Like this is This just means we have more stuff to explain whenever we tell someone like, "Hey, you want to go watch whatever the movie is?"
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, what do I need to see to do that?" It's like, "Well, you could watch this show, but it's not canon. But season 2 is canon, and season 1 takes place after this movie, which also isn't canon. But 3 of the characters in that movie show up in season 2, so maybe it's canon." It's like I don't want to do that.
Also, you have to watch Creature Commandos.
Also, you need to watch Creature Commandos, and also Rick Flag's a different Rick Flag, even though they have the same name.
And he's only like 10 years older, even though it's his dad. I think
Dumb.
Joel Kinnaman and
Dumb.
Frank Grillo are like the same age.
Dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb, and I hate it.
They're really all their hopes right in that Superman movie.
Why am I?
If that doesn't make like $800 million, then they're just
Can you just do live action of the Green Lantern CGI show? Can we? Just,
they can't.
do that.
No, we're doing Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan.
No.
What if it's Tom Cruise?
No.
What if it's Tom?
I don't care. Why would I care if it's Tom Cruise?
What if it's Tom Cruise?
Wait a minute.
He's doing Prestige
Wait a
TV
minute.
on HBO.
Let's not do Hal Jordan. Let's make
Too late.
Let's make Top Gun Maverick guy Green Lantern, and let's make that canon.
Captain Pilot.
Yeah, let's make Captain Pilot officially Green. Because I mean, that's basically what Hal Jordan is.
We're gonna have 3 human Green Lanterns, like in Phase 1 of the DCU.
See, that's confusing.
Because we'll have Guy.
Now, okay.
Oh well, they could kill Guy Gardner.
Well, hang on.
That's probably what they'll do.
Maybe, but like if they want to establish like that this is a group, I think that's actually a good way to go about it.
Yeah.
Now in my opinion, you're representing that group in a very weird way because like it's supposed to be like species from all over the universe and showing that it's 3 humans. That's gonna make everyone think it's 3 humans
on Earth, so it makes sense that it's all the Earth ones.
But sure, but like,
I mean, how often do the other Green Lanterns don't really ever show up to do justice?
Yes,
stuff?
but you know why?
Because they're off in space.
Because each one guards a specific sector.
Yeah.
So do we have 3 for Sector 3814?
Well, that's the case in the comics too. I mean, there's like 5.
Well, there's 5 now because there's that one with a gun who also
Simon
doesn't have a gun now.
And Jessica Cruz.
And his sister,
also...
or is that his sister? Are they related somehow?
Person.
Are they,
nope.
are they in a relationship?
Nope.
Are they just buddies?
They're just there.
They're just pals.
Also there. I think that in the comics, the excuse is that there's always so much stuff happening on Earth that they just have several.
Yeah,
backups.
there's a lot, which is like, sure, whatever. That's like a fine excuse, but like nowhere else in the universe, there's like things.
Well,
happening.
I mean, Darkseid's popping up on Earth every other week. I mean, it would make sense that you put most of your guys over there.
Yeah, but like also why?
Because
I guess that's where the anti-life equation is, but also why?
Because it's on Earth. It just is.
Okay. Anyway, is that it for HBO things?
Yeah. No. I'm looking forward to Green Lantern show.
I'll watch Green Lantern show.
It's been in the works forever.
I want there to be a good Green Lantern thing that I can point to other than the animated series and go, this is a good Green Lantern thing.
There's so many detective characters in DC Comics. It's kind of weird to me that you would take one who isn't a detective character and put him on a detective mission.
If Batman is like CSI, right? I want the Green Lanterns to kind of be like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Like some kind of dummies?
Yeah. But like they still get the job done. They're just like a little bit dumber than the rest.
I mean, I guess they have rings that just do all the detective work for them.
Yeah, pretty much.
I am interested to see like what a mystery they would be solving would be. It's probably just going to be a murder, but like...
You think Sinestro's going to be in it?
I wouldn't be shocked.
Which color scheme lantern group do you think is going to be the main one that they fight this time? Red or yellow?
I'm going to say red. I'm going to go with red just cuz I bet you James Gunn is a big fan of the Cat.
Oh yeah, a Dexstar.
Is a big fan of Dexstar and wants to put Dexstar in something.
You know, I think the Red Lanterns are better.
I also wouldn't be shocked if the Squirrel Green Lantern shows up.
He's got to show up because it's James Gunn and he likes wacky, weird.
Yeah,
characters.
He loves animals.
But I think that the Red Lanterns, just in general, are more interesting foes for the Green Lanterns because the Yellow Lanterns just win because they just are immune to. Green
You
Lanterns.
could do the Red Lanterns now and then Because usually what they do is they have Sinestro first pop up as a Green Lantern.
Like that. Imagine if like that's what they usually do. But like, imagine if Superman's like greatest villain, like his power was just Superman's powers don't work on me. Like that would be like very silly. Like that would kind of make every fight kind of dumb. Like Kryptonite weakens him. But
I mean, they fight him.
Yeah, but like in most universes where there are Yellow Lanterns, the Yellow Lanterns pretty much as soon as they show up, they like beat the crap out of all of them.
Because they're yellow, and that's the Green Lantern's one weakness.
Yeah, which is
color
silly.
yellow.
But that's why I like the Red Lanterns better, because like they're more on equal footing. The dynamics between them are more. You can actually have them fight, and it be.
They have different
There's
colored
stakes to the
lasers that
fight.
they shoot at each other.
Yeah, but like with yellow and green, it's like rock paper scissors. It's like rock beats scissors. Scissors don't work on rock. Whereas like the Red Lanterns is like scissors and scissors. Like they can fight each other. You know what I mean? Anyway,
let's move on to Nintendo
let's
Direct.
talk about the Nintendo Direct. I wrote all the things for that. All right. I guess we'll just go in the same order. Mario and Luigi Brothership.
This was a little bit surprising.
Kind of out of nowhere.
Not out of nowhere.
It's a little bit out of nowhere. Since the studio
I was
got
only surprised
closed
that they
down.
were that this was announced because Alpha Dream closed.
Yeah.
I was not surprised that they were. I mean, it's one of the series they haven't done a Switch entry for, so that part wasn't surprising. It's just the fact that Alpha Dream closed down, so I don't know who's doing.
Well, and something that was interesting to me about this one is we saw a bunch of characters that were like not traditional Mario thing, but he has a hat.
They tend to do that in the Mario and Luigi games.
Yeah, but they've had I don't know if you remember, they had that memorandum like a few years back where they were like, you're not allowed to do any characters that aren't Mario characters. And that's why all the Paper Mario games the last few years have been kind of like nothing burgers. The Super Mario RPG, not the remakes, but like all of the Mario RPGs they were doing were very much like there weren't really any new characters. It was all just Mario enemy, but with a hat. But in this trailer, we saw some like actual original designs for some of the characters, which I think it's cool to see them kind of loosen up a bit.
I like the one Mario and Luigi game I played.
Dream Team?
I played Dream Team.
I think I played most of Dream Team. I don't think I ever finished it.
I didn't play the ones that everyone says is way better, like all the other ones.
Remember
not
in
the
Dream
Paper
Team when
Mario
you could
one.
stretch Luigi's mustache?
I do remember. With
the only thing I remember about that game. Nintendo World Championships, which was it's like an online competitive.
It looks like it's just the new version of. You remember the NES remix games from like the 3DS, Wii U?
Yeah, but it's like combined with Mario 99.
Yeah, where it's all
where it's like you
online.
beat the shadows of like other people.
I don't know. I don't think it's $60. I think it's like $30. So
I'm not really interested. I think I'm kind of worn out on like classic Nintendo. You know, like how many times can I play?
They
Super
go back
Mario
and they
Bros?
mine it but this is what they've done this since like the freaking Nintendo 64. So like I'm not.
Yeah, but like oh my.
They just do that every other week.
Please.
Every other week, someone at Nintendo presses the 8-bit Mario button.
Yeah, like stop pressing that. You've pressed it too many times. The button is like a different
Everyone who
color
played
now.
that game in 1984 is
stop playing it anymore.
Is old or dead.
We got Fairy Tail 2, which
I don't know what this is.
It's an anime game based off the Fairy Tail show, but I didn't know there was a Fairy Tail 1. I didn't know that was a thing. I've never even seen Fairy Tail.
I hear anime game, I go to sleep.
This game also looked horrible. Like it ran like garbage.
I mean,
why did they put this in the presentation? Anyway, Fantasia Neo Dimension. Now,
those are 3 words.
You hear those 3 words?
One word, one real word.
And I can hear your brain turning off.
Yep, and it did.
But let me explain why this is very weird. So this game was made by like very like classic by the books 2D Final Fantasy devs from like way back in the day. They kind of came back together and they made this. This was like their spiritual successor kind of to the 2D Final Fantasy games. What was there were 2 things interesting about this game. One, all of the backgrounds were dioramas that they had actually built and then 3D scanned into the game. So like all of the environments were like hyper realistic. And 2, it was locked to Apple Arcade for the last like 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
It has been in Apple Arcade prison. This is the first time we're seeing it leave Apple Arcade. And the whole like the fan base never played the game because it was stuck on Apple Arcade. And to my knowledge, it's the only Apple Arcade exclusive that we have seen breach out so far.
Huh.
So maybe the Apple Arcade, I wouldn't call it an empire, but like small village on the coast of Nowhere's Land is finally like collapsing. It's just a very interesting situation with that game. Basketball. The Switch Sports.
That game, when did that come out?
I think 2 years ago.
Still, they're just adding basketball now?
Just now adding basketball.
They know no one's playing that game?
I don't think they do because they don't have internet in their headquarters.
That's true. They probably just now learned about the sport basketball.
That's true. Well, it was in the they had to know about it a little bit because it was in their other Wii Sports game.
But they forget.
Maybe they forgot. A game that actually looked kind of cool was Mio Memories in Orbit, which was that kind of 2D sort of pixely filtered 2D platformer.
Yes, I do remember that one. That one was the one I thought was like an Ori.
You thought it was an Ori spinoff, but it's as far as I'm aware, it's its own thing. It kind of had a cell shaded, sketchy art style.
Yeah, it looks like a Metroidvania.
Yeah, it looks like a solid Metroidvania. I'm probably not going to play it because I don't play a lot of those type of games, but it looks really cool. I'm sure it will develop a very sort of a cult fan base. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. It's Animal Crossing, but with Hello Kitty characters. Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports. It looks kind of like they just took all of the Mario sports games.
You know, we don't have to talk about Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports.
The only reason I wanted to talk about this one is because it looks exactly like Mario Tennis Aces, Super Mario Soccer game. I don't remember what its subtitle was.
Strikers.
Yeah, and the golf. It looks like they just took all those games and kind of combined them. Which I guess if you want that experience, but you don't want to pay $60 for one single sport, I think this is an actual valid.
I think this game is probably
it's a valid competitor to those other games. Did you see the trailer?
Yeah, I mean, I watched the direct.
Yeah, I mean, it looked fine. Like it looked exactly like those other games, but they're like just combined.
I do love that the Switch is the only console that gets all these crappy licensed games.
Yeah,
I do think that's fun.
We got Among Us. Got some new things. Any thoughts on Among Us?
I have not had a thought about Among Us in, I believe, 4 years.
Well, no, the show.
I don't even have thoughts on that. I just saw that it exists.
Yeah, but it's got an all-star cast.
It does.
How much do you want to bet they got that all-star cast and they don't talk in the show?
Then I would have no excuse to not turn it off after a minute and a half.
Like, that would be hilarious.
It's already a stretch when you ask me to watch the Among Us show.
I'm not gonna watch the Among Us show. I don't care about Among Us.
Of course you're gonna.
Maybe I'll watch like an episode.
You
and
know
be like,
you're
That's
gonna
funny.
watch it.
I mean, I doubt it. I don't really care about Among Us.
Everyone's gonna watch at least the first episode as a
yeah.
as
That's
a
what I'm saying.
meme.
I'll watch the first episode as a meme.
Everyone
and
will be
then
like,
I'll
I
give up
watched Among Us show.
on it. We got some Farmagia, which is like a Pokemon
Harvest Moon
farming game. It's like Pikmin combined with Pokemon combined with farming, where you grow food and that food turns into Pokemon.
Gross.
And then you take your Pokemon and you do Pikmin things with them. It's like a very weird mashup of a bunch of different things.
most games are just pitched as, what if we took these two games and made them one game?
Yeah, but it's like we're mashing too much now. Like, turn the masher off.
Never stop mash.
DK Country Returns.
It's true. In HD.
In HD
in
now.
3D HD. It was in 3D before, now it's in HD.
Yes, the 3 has become an H.
Yes.
Do you care at all about playing this game again?
I might.
Why don't they just make a new one?
It's probably gonna cost $60.
Why don't they just make a new one?
And that's making me mad.
There are 2 Donkey Kong Country games.
Yeah, the last one
Make
came out,
a new one.
It's been 10 years. I believe 10 years. It might be longer.
There's Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Country Returns, which is just Donkey Kong Country,
no.
and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Oh, if we're counting the Super Nintendo ones, then there's Donkey Kong Country 2. Diddy's Conquest?
Diddy's Conquest.
Diddy's, I think that's what it's called. No, there's Donkey Kong 2 and 3. One of them is Diddy Kong something something, and one of them is Dixie Kong's something something.
Okay, so that's still 2 Donkey Kong
And
games.
then they did Country Returns, and then they did Tropical Freeze.
And then now we're doing Country Returns.
Those Retro did both of those, and then Retro fell off a cliff for 10 years or whatever. We still
disappeared.
We still don't know what happened to them.
I think in our universe, when the Thanos snap happened, just the people who work at Retro disappeared, and that was
no.
it.
I think they might have been working on another Donkey Kong, and it got canceled, and that's why it's so long.
But then why do they keep?
I don't know why we're not just getting a new Donkey Kong game, other than maybe on the next console. I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't get it. It doesn't make sense.
Tropical Freeze is sold so well on the Switch. I think it might just be a Mario Kart 8 thing where they just don't feel it's necessary. But then also, what's the point of this at this point?
But then also, why did
this kid is a 15-year-old game?
I don't understand. It doesn't really make sense.
It's a very old game at this point.
Dragon Quest 1 and 2 and 3 are getting HD 2D remasters.
Yes, but 3 is coming first because apparently that's the first one.
In the timeline, I think it takes place first before the other two. I don't know anything about Dragon Quest.
These are the ones with the guy.
The guy that everyone knows the name of.
Yes.
Well, because Toriyama did all the artwork for the games.
I didn't know that.
Which is cool. That's why Dragon Quest 11 they all look exactly like Dragon Ball characters because the same guy drew them.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff. Yeah, he designed the little slime guy.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah, he's like more famous than Dragon Quest, I would argue.
Probably. He's the mascot.
I mean, that's where slimes came from.
In Minecraft?
No, like the concept of the enemy that is slime.
Interesting.
Yeah, fun factoid. Funko Fusion looks like the worst thing I've ever seen.
No.
Just the worst thing ever.
No. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. Again, it's another 11-year-old game.
This? What are we doing?
3DS.
Why did they change the name?
Because there's a 3, and so they're just making it consistent.
Well, the Japanese release was Luigi's
2.
Mansion 2.
Yeah, so
they're changing the name of the American release to match the Japanese release.
Well, because the Luigi's Mansion 3 was just called everywhere.
Yeah, so then why did they call it Dark Moon at all?
Luigi's Mansion
Why'd
2.
they ever call it Dark Moon?
Because subtitles were big at the time.
Were they?
I don't know. No, I think it's because the thinking was like, well, it's been so long since the first game. A lot of people probably haven't played the first game.
I think a lot of people played Luigi's Mansion 3.
So we'll call it Dark Moon, and they'll think it's its own thing.
Why does it look bad?
Because it's a 3DS game.
But why didn't they just make it look like Luigi's Mansion 3?
Because then that would be a lot more work.
It took them like 7 years to make this.
You think they've been... No, they said they started working on this like a year ago. Maybe.
Okay, but they could have just like changed the textures.
But they also had to make it work on a Switch as compared to the 3DS.
Okay, but that's not...
I know power-wise, but it's like a control setup because there's the whole second screen part that you have to get out of the game.
Well, the first Luigi's Mansion game didn't have that.
Yes, but
and the second one had the same controls.
I'm saying all of the elements from Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon that were like
I understand what you're saying.
Put all those in the game now.
But
that's probably why it's taking longer than most of their.
My argument is that shouldn't be that hard.
It probably. I don't know anything about video game development. I don't know what they're doing.
All right. Anyway,
it's probably like a team of like 3 people.
What's the Denpa Man?
I don't.
What is?
Why are you asking me?
What is that?
I don't know what those words mean.
Arlo was like freaking out about it. He was like, "This is amazing. This is so cool. I'm glad they're bringing this back." I was like, "Arlo, what on earth is a Denpa Man?"
What is Denpa Man?
So, you know Pokemon Go?
Yes, I know Pokemon Go.
So, it's like that, but if Pokestops were every Wi-Fi router, and it takes the WPA address of your Wi-Fi router, and that's how it generates the guys, and then you use them to, like, fight or something.
Sure.
Yeah, so I said it looks like Pikmin plus Animal Crossing plus Shrooms, because that's what it looks like.
Wish I was on Shrooms.
I don't care about Metal Slug. Darkest Dungeon 2. Have you heard of Darkest Dungeon?
Movie?
No. It's funny, though, that you're aware of that and not the game. Darkest Dungeon, the game, is one of the most successful indie games that I'm aware of. It's kind of like Shovel Knight status in terms of like it's an indie game that like kind of got really, really popular. It's sort of a 2D, like super dark fantasy game. The way it works is like you have all the characters have permadeath. You can recruit like dozens and dozens of different characters. And the longer you have them in your party, the more sanity they lose until they can like randomly die from a heart attack. And so like you have to balance, do you want to keep going in the dungeon or do you want to like pause and take a break and like let your guys chill out but get less reward in return. So it's a really interesting like dark fantasy RPG. But as far as I'm aware, this is the first time we've gotten an announcement for the sequel, and the fact that it's coming out on Switch is pretty cool. Switch Online got some stuff. I don't care. Oh, actually,
I've heard of Turok.
Yeah, so they added a mature game section to Switch Online for the
M-rated
N64 stuff,
games.
which, what is there, like 2 of those?
There's like, I believe there's like 5.
Yeah, anyway, well, 2 of them are on the Switch now.
Perfect Dark, baby.
With Perfect Dark, which there's been a lot of Perfect Dark news
they're
lately.
doing a new Perfect Dark game.
Yeah, and Turok, which
I'm aware. That's the game where you shoot dinosaurs.
you hunt dinosaurs. So that's it. Oh, Zelda Four Swords Adventure with online.
That's got to be the only way you can
actually
play that game.
I think this is the definitive version of that game.
Yes, because you don't require link.
Because you don't need 3 Game Boys to play it. So that's really cool, I think, that you can actually, for the first time in like 30 years, play this game correctly. Metroid Zero Mission, also getting ported. That's a sick game. Yeah, that's an awesome game. Phantom Brave, The Lost Hero, I don't know what that is. I don't. Oh! Yeah, it looked really... Look up the trailer just if you want to be annoyed. It looks so bad.
I don't want to be annoyed.
Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. 7 Marvel vs. Capcom games in one bundle.
Whoop.
Dude, why are the Marvel vs. Capcom games fans eating so good?
They are. I mean, didn't everyone hate the last one that came out like 7 years ago?
Well, who cares? They just got 7 of them now, so...
It's true. That last one, I remember... People hated that game. Yeah,
but Marvel and Capcom must have some kind of crazy deal. I don't know what's going on with that. Mario Party Jamboree looks like an actually good Mario Party game for the first time in the Switch's lifespan.
Do we hate the other Mario Parties on the Switch? This is the third one.
Yes, because they only have like 4 maps.
I know, but this one I believe also only has like 4 maps.
No, this one has like 7, and all but 2 of them are original.
Oh my gosh!
And they're adding new stuff to the gameplay.
I know the last one they literally didn't.
The last 2.
The last one was all old maps, all old.
Yeah, there was. I don't remember what the last one was called, and then Superstars was only 4 maps.
Super Mario Party, and then Superstars was the.
Yeah.
Super Mario Party was.
But everyone hates those. Anyway, this one looks cool.
I didn't see this coming when I probably should have, because there's usually like a pretty consistent.
Those used to come out like every
3-year gap between the Mario Party games.
Okay.
This was a big reveal.
This is probably my biggest reveal. The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. So, for the first time since Wand of Gamelon, we get to play as Zelda. Some would argue just for the first time, period.
Yes, I would, because I don't want to have to take 5 minutes to explain what you just said.
There's a game.
We're moving on.
No, we're moving on. Gamelon, and Zelda was the main character. That's all.
So I thought when this trailer started, I thought they were remastering the Oracle games.
I thought it was going to be like a sequel to
it
Link's
looks
Awakening.
like the Link's Awakening remaster.
Yeah,
a remake. But no, this is a whole new game where you play as Zelda, and she doesn't have a sword. She has a wand that summons beds.
That you can use it to copy and then make clone. Like you can use it to copy objects and then place more of them in the environment, which is a super open-ended concept. Like they show off in the trailer, there's like a cliff that she's trying to get up, and she like spawns a bunch of tables to like build a staircase to get up to the area, which is like, I don't think there's a 2D 2D Zelda game that is that open-ended.
I think they're trying to incorporate a lot of the freedom
of the wild
Tears
games,
of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild into the 2D.
Yeah,
Zeldas,
and it looks really cool.
Works.
I'm excited for this. This looks really fun to play.
When does this come out? This year or next year?
I think this year. I think it comes out this fall.
Interesting.
But yeah, Legend of Link: A Zelda to the Past. Very cool.
Good for her.
Lego Horizon Adventures is coming to the Switch.
Don't care. Stray
is cool. Stray's really good. Did you ever play Stray?
I never played Stray.
You should. It's good. It's like a 7-hour game too.
Is it a Strand type game?
What? I don't think so, but I'm still not entirely sure what a Strand type game is.
I'm not playing.
But no, Stray is really, really cool. I would recommend playing it on your PS5, because part of what makes this game so cool is the super detailed environment. And there's a lot of places in the game where you're intended to just put the character like curl up on like a pillow or whatever and just use it as a screensaver. Like a lot of this game is about its ambiance and about the the environment you're in, and it's highly detailed. I honestly wouldn't recommend playing this on Switch. It's cool that you can if this is your only option, but if you have another console, like any other console that is from the last decade, I would recommend playing it on that. And I think it's only $7 on like basically everything, so definitely check it out. Tales of the Shire, a Hobbit type game.
Can we just skip to the Metroid Prime 4?
You don't want to talk about Ace Attorney or
No.
Oh, 100 Line Last Defense looked kind of cool. It's from the Danganronpa creators, which you don't know what that is, but for the people who know, they'll be excited about that. It looks. Did you see the trailer? It looked kind of cool.
I mean, I did. I don't remember it.
It's like the apocalypse happens. You end up recruited by like an organization with 100 other people, and you have to defend the school. And there's permadeath. So like you cycle through the characters because they die and it's permadeath. And you have to survive for 100 days. I mean I feel like like we're gonna see really cool playthroughs of this game of like people trying to survive with like 0 deaths and stuff like that. It looks cool. Looks interesting. I don't care about that game. We can talk about Metroid Prime 4 and beyond.
Cool. It's finally here.
We finally have the thing.
7 years since reveal.
How many years since the redevelopment?
They started again in 2019, in January of 2019.
So 5 years ago now.
So 5 years of development. We finally got a look. You could tell whoever hosts these. I can't remember his name. He's the one who did the video.
When does this?
The guy who hosted this direct is the guy who announced that they had scrapped development on it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
You could see a smile in his face.
Yeah, he's like, finally,
we have Metroid Prime 4. It looked so good.
It looks really cool.
It looks way too good to be on a Nintendo Switch.
It looks almost like Halo.
Yeah.
Which is good. That's a good thing.
It opens with like a big battle scene.
Yeah, it's like fast-paced action going on. She turns into a ball. Everyone loves it when she turns into a ball.
I love Meteoroid.
Why does her having bird DNA give her the power to turn into a ball?
Don't ask. Because of eggs or
Why
something.
didn't they just make the Chozos like hedgehogs? That would have answered the question.
Would it though?
Does
that answer anyone's question?
Hedgehogs at least turn into balls. Birds don't turn into balls.
You don't know that.
I've never seen a bird turn into a ball. I've seen a hedgehog turn into a ball.
When's the last time you saw a bird?
Today? Like on the drive here? What do you mean?
Are you sure that was a real bird? Not one of the fake
Even
birds?
if it was a fake bird, it doesn't turn into a ball.
But what if only the real birds turn?
What are you talking about right now? What are you saying right now?
I don't even know.
What are you talking about? What?
Sam, the 3rd season of The Bear dropped literally the second we started recording. I just want to watch that.
I gotta watch season 2.
It's 10 episodes.
I have 3 episodes left. I'm almost done.
I can't. Just want to watch.
Did the whole series come out?
Yeah, they dropped the whole season.
Why did they do that?
I don't know why.
Now I gotta watch all of it.
I didn't want them to. They did it last year too, and they shouldn't have.
I wanted to be pressured into it by weekly releases. Now one time.
I don't want to shotgun it because it's good.
I guess you could just choose.
I'm fine when they drop back. Like I was fine when they dropped the Avatar show all at once because I don't want to watch that.
Yeah.
And so
I want to just get it over with.
So I just want to muscle through it. But this is a thing I enjoy. Now I'm going to be up until 4 a.m. watching this. And then I'll wake up tomorrow having seen all of it. And I'll just be sad.
Why don't you just go to bed like when you get home. And then when Clover wakes you up early, you can just watch the show. Because then, the amount of time would be the same basically.
I'm going to watch it the second I get home.
Okay. Yeah, any other thought? Oh, so there were some conspiracy theories.
Oh, I love conspiracy theories.
Regarding the reveal of Metroid Prime 4. A lot of people are claiming, with no evidence as far as I'm aware, that it's not running on the Switch. Rather, it is running on the Switch 2 hardware.
I would not be surprised.
This would go along with rumors from...
This is going to be out on the next console. It's not coming out on the Switch.
Yeah. But this would also align with the rumors from last year that at Gamescom, the Switch 2 was shown off behind closed doors with Metroid Prime 4 as its like demo game.
It makes sense. It's probably one of like the only things they have worked.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
I mean, that would explain why it is running at like 30 frames per second.
The
and not
only reason why I doubt those rumors is because it doesn't look that different from the Prime remaster.
But the Switch 2 is probably not going to be that much more powerful, so it would make sense that it looks about the same.
If the Switch 2 is not that much more powerful, then Nintendo is going to have a rough 7 years ahead of them.
We could be in another dark age.
I mean, honestly, when the Switch 2 came out, or when the Switch 1 came out, it was a generation behind.
Yeah, already.
If they release the next
Now
console
it's
and it's a generation behind, it's not. Well, yeah, now the Switch is 2 behind. But like, if the next Switch is PS4 level power wise, that's fine. Most games will still run on it. I'm fine with that. It's fine. Okay.
Might actually get some modern games because we're still not making PS5 and Xbox Series X.
But that's kind of what made the launch of the Switch so cool. Is like all the modern games that we didn't get for like ever, we all got to play like all at once. It was super fun.
Kinda, yeah.
We got like Skyrim, we got Doom, we got
just those. Really...
We got The Witcher, we got lots of stuff.
Yeah. No, I don't expect the Switch 2 to be that much.
I don't expect it to be.
Best case scenario, it's like base Xbox One.
I don't expect it to be like game breaking. I don't expect it to like move the industry forward. I expect it to be around the same power as the first the Steam Deck 1.
The Steam Deck?
Yeah. Steam Deck runs like Persona 5 at like 50 frames per second. It's well within their abilities.
It's not about their abilities. It's about when Nintendo is aware of technology. How much does the Steam Deck cost?
Steam Deck is like $600.
So it's
actually no. Now it's
as much as that.
Now it's a lot cheaper because the OLED came out. I think it's like $400 now. Sometimes cheaper. It depends on what. It depends on what storage size you get. You can get them for like $350. I think at the cheapest.
Because the new Switch is probably going to be like $400.
Yeah, so you're getting into Steam Deck territory.
Also, got to remember they got to include that dock in that pack.
That dock is just a USB-C plug.
But for them, it's like $30 or $40 worth of value. So
I think the dock is also going to be like not really a dock this time. I think it'll just be like a little thing that you just put it on top. You know, like kind of like what Arlo said, where it's like a
charging stand.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be more of a charging stand, like in terms of form factor.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if it was
because you don't really need the whole dock.
Yeah, it kind of just takes up a lot of space.
I think that was really, really good for the launch for like marketing reasons because it made it very clear how it worked.
Yeah.
But I think now everyone kind of gets it. Everyone knows how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, you could probably shrink it.
So you can get away with a much smaller dock. Yeah. And for portability reasons, that's great.
Way more convenient.
Yeah, I think that's where they're going to go. I mean, a lot of people were taking the boards out of their docks and putting them in those like 3D printed housings that were just the stands, which is... I suspect they're just gonna basically make that the official dock. But yeah. Anything else this week? Oh, we got to review a bunch of stuff.
Well, we talked about the Agile.
No, but we got to talk about Inside Out.
Oh, that's true.
And other things.
We'll talk about that in a separate thing.
All right. Well, that's it for the McDonCast.
Oh, unless you want to talk about the Spaceballs news.
Oh yeah, Spaceballs 2 is finally happening after like 30 years.
Josh Gad's doing it for some reason.
What are we doing?
Mel Brooks is
almost
dead.
Which studio owns Spaceballs?
I think Amazon now.
What?
I don't know.
Oh wait. Okay, wait.
Search for more money.
Is it going to be a parody of like modern Star Wars?
It would have to be, right?
Like Star Wars has come a long way since Spaceballs.
If this was 10 or 12 years ago, it'd be a parody of the prequels. But I gotta go let Max in.
Okay, we'll pause real quick. Spaceballs. Okay, yeah. So, are we doing prequels parody? Are we doing Clone Wars parody? Are we doing Rebels parody? Are we doing sequels parody? Or are we doing Amazon? Are we doing Disney Plus parody?
It's gotta be sequels, right? But also the sequels are pretty much they're
almost 10 years old now.
Episode
7's 10 years old.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, the sequels in the original trilogy, I guess I don't really know what you parody. I guess it'll probably be a thing where they're making fun of Disney for, like, milking the franchise, and there will be, like...
Which is easy. That's, like, the obvious way
I think the joke will probably be, like, this isn't Spaceballs 2, this is Spaceballs, like, 9. And the joke will have been, like, there's, like, 8 fictional Spaceballs sequels. Like, I feel like the joke will be, this is the legacy sequel to the non-existent Spaceballs sequels. And like it'll be like
like
dramatic panning shots of him like picking up the the ring that shoots the
sort of like
lightsaber
as
thing.
if they had made like a
I think
bunch
it'll
of
be
them.
more of like a general like a legacy sequel parody thing than like a particular to
like
Star
an
Wars.
industry commentary than like a
Yeah.
Star Wars commentary.
At least that's what I'm assuming. I don't. Josh Gad's a weird choice. I don't really know what's up with
Yeah,
that.
and you can't really do that kind of commentary because that's what you're doing.
Yeah, this is being made because there's
You
a
can't
1.
make fun of the thing and be the thing.
I don't know. I think Mel Brooks is just like, I'm about to die. Just do whatever. I don't care anymore.
Mel Brooks in it?
He's producing it. I mean, he might be in it for a second. But
He was Darth Helmet, right?
no,
Their
he was
big helmet guy.
He was the fake Yoda. But like,
there was fake Yoda.
Rick Moranis isn't probably gonna do this. John Candy's dead.
Who played the main guy?
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton? I've only seen Spaceballs one time, and I was like, this movie was like fine. Honestly, I feel like Spaceballs is kind of overhyped.
Bill Pullman.
I feel like
Bill
Spaceballs is a
Pullman's
little
still alive.
overhyped.
He could do it.
There's like 3 really funny jokes that everyone quotes.
Spaceballs is pretty funny.
It's pretty funny, but like I feel like it's just aged a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Joan Rivers is dead. I mean, like, multiple. Dead.
Oh, the little thumbs up thing happened when you said that.
Good.
Very cool.
Good. No, so I don't really know what. This would have been.
Spaceballs is
This
funny.
would have been a good idea 30 years ago.
Yeah, like it's
now it just feels like why.
It's not cool to make fun of Star Wars for doing all the things that like you're literally doing at the same exact time.
Spaceballs 1 was 40 years ago.
Because when that movie was made, you can make fun of all the like goofy things that happen in Star Wars.
Yeah.
But they didn't do those same goofy things. They were just making fun of those goofy things. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? This is like you can't make fun of like the state of Star Wars while simultaneously doing the exact same things that put them in that situation.
As long as they don't use the title idea that we stole the idea from Christ 2 from, it's fine.
What if they make Glup Crapo a real character?
That would be.
That might be worth making the movie.
Maybe worth it. Yeah, maybe if they do that. I don't know.
He's in the background of every scene.
I don't know. It's just like everyone involved with that original movie is like dead or
not really involved
like retired.
Anymore.
So
yeah.
like I don't even know who's gonna be in this.
I mean, there's definitely space for a like goofy parody of Star Wars to be made.
But is Spaceballs the way to do it?
Yeah,
now?
but I think Spaceballs is kind of
it was a one-off idea. Yeah. I don't know. Everything is being mined now. We'll probably get an airplane.
I mean, and at this point, Star Wars has moved past Spaceballs. They were on triangles by the last movie.
It's true. They were on space.
They had 1,000 evil triangles.
I better call it Space Bigger Balls.
Space Balls with 2 S's.
Balls.
Yeah.
The creativity that's Genesis of.
Yeah, it really is.
Baseball sequel, Naked Gun sequel. Airplane next?
Didn't I saw someone posted about making 20
yes.
Who was it? The 23
I think
22 Jump Street
Channing
guy was like
Tatum got asked in an interview.
He said that he read the script for 23 Jump Street and it was the best script he ever read.
It was going to be a Men in Black crossover. It was called 23 Jump Street Men in Black 4.
Those are in the same universe?
Yeah, well, it would have crossed them over. That's not a terrible... Because they're both like jokey spy type things.
I mean, I've never seen any of the Jump Street movies.
I've seen. Those are good movies. But
also, they made Men in Black 4 already.
They did. Without
the
Will
characters.
Smith.
Well, yeah, because he was going through some stuff at the
Well,
time.
no, this was before. It was before.
Yeah.
Even now, wouldn't have mattered. Bad Boys 4 is doing really well.
By
the way, we didn't talk about the box office because Wyatt was
board.
here and was doing like trigonometry or something. I don't really know why.
He erased our whiteboard.
He was doing logarithms.
We'll give you guys an update next week on that.
But Inside Out 2 is making all the money.
Inside Out 2 is doing numbers.
Yeah, it's like all the numbers.
It's destroyed.
It's
It's winning.
It's gonna make $1 billion probably.
It beat Dune 2.
Yeah, no, it's gonna make $1 billion probably by the end.
Yeah, it's cranking it.
No, it's printing money. Apparently, the new thing is just if you see people dressing up to go to a movie, it's gonna
that's
make
the
$1
biggest
billion.
movie. Yeah.
Gotta get everyone in.
That's the thing now.
Gotta get everyone in their Western get-ups.
Honestly, I like that.
For Horizon.
I talked about this a little bit when we were leaving. What movie did we watch?
The Bike
Riders, which is really good, by the way. I recommend Bike Riders. I like that people are dressing up to go to the movies. I think that brings some kind of culture to the movies. Like I like there's something that just isn't you buy the thing, you sit in a chair. Like friends going out and like making it an activity, you know?
Yeah, that's fun.
I like that.
I don't mind it. I don't mind costumes. I do mind
phones. Acting insane and being on your phone.
Phones, streaming, taking little babies to R-rated violent horror films.
Yeah, why are you doing that?
Which has happened.
Stop doing that.
The last one I saw that happened.
Don't do that.
Just stop. That's mean
Isn't
to the
that
baby.
the whole reason we made that like illegal?
Didn't we do that? If their parents there, they can go.
Yeah, but like we shouldn't. That shouldn't. Why are we doing that?
I don't know. People are
like, what's the point of the rating system then?
So that if the baby was by itself, they couldn't get it.
The baby can't get there by itself. That's a stupid thing to do. And also, that's not even true.
What?
Because like I've gone to the movies with friends, and like they'll check like one of our IDs, and then usually they're like, "Oh, you're good." But like, if they had checked their ID and they were too young, but I'm old enough, then like, can't they still go?
The last time.
Can't I sponsor them?
The last time I was, 2 times ago when I was carded at a movie theater, they said that one of you is 18. It's not allowed. It has to be a parent or legal guardian.
Can't I just say I'm their legal guardian? What are they going to make me produce their birth
They'll
certificate?
be like, that doesn't make any sense.
They can't. Yeah, but they don't know that. They could say it doesn't make sense.
Well, they have your ID. They know how old you are.
Yeah, no, but it's not illegal for me to adopt a kid of any age. Like I could be 18 and adopt a 17-year-old. Hypothetically, you could
do that.
There'd be no way to prove that you didn't do that.
Generally, 90% of movie theater employees don't care. The only time I've ever been carded at a movie theater is if it was an older one.
Yeah, it's the manager.
If it's always the older, or not even just managers, if they're just an older employee, like if they're like above 30.
Or if they're ride or die. Sometimes you'll get the ride or die employees. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not 12. I'm guessing if a 12-year-old tried to see it, they'd probably turn them away. But like most people.
Also, 12-year-olds can't drive, so there are no 12-year-olds.
Well, their parents dropped
up.
them off.
Yeah, that's also
that happens.
Weird.
When they do like the National Cinema Weekend.
Yeah, and they just dump their kids.
It's
at the theater,
just parents just dumping their kids at the theater for 8 hours, and then they just go home and drink.
Watch movies the entire day. Like, okay.
Anyway, I don't even remember what we were talking about. Spaceballs.
That's and Inside Out 2 doing really well.
Yeah, that's it for this week. We'll be back again for more stuff. Always more stuff.
There's always things happening. Things in the world, they're happening.
Right.
And we're going to tell you all about them.
There's a presidential debate tomorrow. Excited?
That's going to happen.
Yep.
That's going to be one of the debates of all time.
Truly. Well, maybe.
It'll be one of them.
If both candidates can make it all the way through.
If they survive to tomorrow.
Yes.
Which, I mean, there's like a 50%
every
chance.
day is a new...
Every day we're rolling the dice.
A new surprise.
Let's go gambling.
Oh, dang it.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.